Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to episode 2. Twice. Welcome to episode 2 of the A-listers, ladies and gentlemen. We've got so much to talk about today. There are so many different topics for us to discuss. We're here to talk about Chelsea Football Club spending 900 million and still losing to West Ham 3-1. We're here to talk about Manchester United getting absolutely dominated by Tottenham Hotspur and ruined. We want to talk about Arsenal winning, Liverpool winning. We're here to talk about Man City's win as well. So, as you guys know, we ignore Tottenham on the show because it says it in the title, the A-listers. We don't have time for that Tottenham crap. No one cares about Spurs. That's just the reality. So other people keep telling me, why don't you talk about Spurs? Ask yourself. Look yourself in the mirror right now and ask yourself a genuine question. Do you actually care about Tottenham Hotspur? Be real. You probably don't. And here we are. So, yeah. Everyone watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch us on the replay. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to This is Football if you're ready to do so. Every single person watching us right now or on the replay, slap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Big up everyone for their support on the channel as well. The YouTube is telling me you guys are sharing the videos at record rates. Continue to share the videos everywhere. Let me call this bald fraud. Imagine he don't pick up. That's embarrassing, dog.
I've arrived. I'm just joining.
Hamza, there's 300 people. Yalla habibi. Get on the stream. Yalla. See you. Yalla. So let me introduce the winners this week first. This guy went to Selhurst Park. Got a mistaken penalty against him. Not mistaken penalty, sorry, mistaken red card. It's already started. Premier League referees trying to mess up this league as much as possible. But they ended up with a 1-0 win. Odegaard scored the penalty and Arsenal won the game. 3 points to Arsenal Football Club. 1-0 to the Arsenal, as they used to sing. And here, repping Arsenal Football Club. And everything he says at the end of the day is his opinion. Joining us, of course, is man like Egal. How you doing, Egal, man?
I'm good, man. Some people win transfer windows, other people win on the pitch, and that's what we do. Let's get it. It's going to be a good show today.
You know, I love how you just came in with that energy. I love this. Like
I'm here for it.
Punch. I love this, man. I really love it. Big up to you. What a guy. Introducing loser number 1. He's a loser for multiple different reasons. Reason number 1 is because he supports Manchester United. Reason number 2 is Pape Sarr. Reason number 3 is Ben Davies. Reason number 4 is Marcus Rashford. Reason number 5 is Mason Mount. Reason number 6 is Bruno Fernandes. Reason number 8 is Eric Ten Hag. Reason number 9 is Wan-Bissaka. Reason number 10 is Anthony. There's many reasons why he's a loser. But of course, he's a winner because he's a member of This is Football. Man like Staffy. How you doing, Staffy? You're on mute, dog.
I mean, I haven't said anything yet. But I've never seen a person. Well, this is how hard I'd be working for people who just sit there and are like, what does Staffy do? This is my 3rd time on this channel in 4 days since the game ended that I'm answering for this team's crimes. Even Ten Hag didn't have to answer 3 times, but I have to do it for a 3rd time. Wallahi, I am actually tired.
I didn't tell you to lose, to be fair.
I woke up today and I realized it's Tuesday, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go on the show and get. I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about Egal. I'm definitely not worried about Lewis because he doesn't come at me like that. But Hamza's about to be on the show, and there's no matter what I'm gonna say, this guy's gonna cook me. He's gonna roast me. He's gonna do everything. So,
and he's gonna get on your nerves as well.
No, he can't get on my nerves because I'm gonna block it all out, but I just have to take it. You know, you go to the doctor, you just take the shot. The needle hurts, but you get done with it. So it is what it is. People here, make sure, I don't know how many people are live right now, but everyone smash that like button. Share my misery with me in the comments by just send nice messages for once. I know it's usually
it's not all bad.
It
It's
is
not
pretty
all
bad
bad.
right now. Don't talk to me about the. I know you're going to talk about the Qatar news or something. I don't care about that right now.
No, I was gonna say Mason Mount might not be around for a month.
Well, I don't want to say it like that because it sounds like I'm celebrating his injury. But if everyone is interested, if anyone is interested, we're about to play good football for the first time this season on Saturday. We're gonna keep about 60% possession. I'm about to watch a little bit of Ericsson ball, hopefully Sancho ball. So the Egal, you were right. You're right. I mean, now you
Versus who?
against Forest. So
Ooh.
unless Elanga decides to have a masterclass against us and get his revenge game, but listen, don't talk about my wife. So just leave my wife out of this.
I can't lie, you guys are taking this wife thing too far. I found 3 different wife accounts. I'm like, damn, I'm married to 3 women already. It's crazy. Big up to Murad who says today I want Hamza to cook. And speaking of Hamza cooking,
no, Hamza's getting cooked. Trust me,
Okay,
please believe. Wait until we get to Hamza's game. He's
okay, no problem.
finished.
Okay, no problem.
Staffy, you might get a pass from me because Hamza, I'm coming for your neck. Anyways,
Okay, I love those are fighting words. Joining us on the channel, of course, is another serial winner here to talk about his fellow bald fraud, Eric Ten Hag, his other bald fraud, Caicedo, and the entire Chelsea Man United situation. Of course, the GOAT himself, man like Hamza is joining us. How are you doing, Hamza, man?
Hey, pick up everyone. How you doing, man? I'm doing very well, man. Come on. I can't wait for today. Hey, today I'm waiting for it. Yeah.
Should I take my painkillers? Are you gonna give me
Hamza,
painkillers or not?
You got too much energy for somebody crying all day.
Listen, I am ready. Egal, put the difference aside. We need to enjoy this today.
Anyone can catch it.
Bro.
Egal, we're not gonna start with this anyway. I don't want you guys. We need to focus on the target. And finally, speaking of the target, last but not least, Mr. All I want is Caicedo. All I need is Caicedo. You see this hammered right here? They got hammered. Hammered right here. Of course, one of the realest human beings I've worked with on this application, a great guy, but he's here to get cooked and to answer for his football club's crimes. Why on earth are they losing to James Ward-Prowse and Souček? We need to understand. So a man like Lewis has joined us on the channel. How are you doing, Lewis, man?
Everyone put a candle up to the death of our football club. We've lost to West Ham. It's all over. Poch out, Bowley out, Winstanley out, everybody out. I'm going to guess that's what the narrative is going to be for the show. So I thought I'd start just before everybody else got to it. Chelsea in the mud. We're going down. Road to 40 points, gang, and everything. We back up. And yeah, it's all over. It's all over, people. But big up to the panel. Big up everybody that's locked in. Hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that. And yeah, let's get into it.
Big up, my people, man. Big up.
I don't think that's how it goes.
I think
that's what I'm expecting.
It's not Chelsea. It's not Chelsea in the mud. It's Chelsea's in the mud. In the mud.
In the mud.
Chelsea's in the mud. Chelsea's in the mud. Chelsea's in the mud. Everyone get into it. Let's get it.
Lewis, just remember that I didn't sing with them. So when we come to the United,
big up.
I want you to.
Staffy,
now. They don't begging it.
Stop begging it, Staffy. Don't try to form.
I have to make some alliances. Listen, this is the Royal Rumble right now. In the Royal Rumble when there's like mini alliances, I have to make an alliance.
No, you just said it yourself. Royal Rumble, every man for himself, baby. So that's just how it goes. Big up to you, bad guy. Thank you so much. Big up to every single one of the guys on the panel, man. All elite people. By the way, all their channels are in the description. Egal Talks Football, Carefree Lewis's channel, man like Staffy, man like Hamza. All of the channels are in the description. Go subscribe. It says, hi, Osam, what's up, Staffy, my guy? Hamza, big up. Lewis, F you.
That's not nice.
Man was so nice all the way. This is like F you, Egal. Let's go.
Let's go. We love Egal.
Today.
So look, let's get into it. Big up Ilya, big up the bad guy, big up Murad. As Lewis told you, as everyone's told you, hit the like button, pay that rent, subscribe to the channel, and let's get this party started. Chelsea Football Club. That's who I want to start with. And it's not because of an agenda or anything. It's, I think, in my opinion, and I'm just being objective. There's no need for us to lie. If I were to say which is the more embarrassing result, I'd honestly say Chelsea losing to West Ham. Honest opinion. I'm not even capping. So because that's my honest opinion, let's go to Lewis first so he can explain the crimes of his football club before
Actually,
we allow.
European champions West Ham. I think not.
There you are. There you are. Don't
I
try it,
brought-
Lewis. Don't try it. Don't try it. So on a real, talk to me about the Chelsea game.
Yeah, second half disaster class. Because the first half we were by far and away the better team, and to be honest, in parts of the second half we were too. We lost the game in moments, and it's annoying. It was an annoying defeat, but it didn't really leave me thinking the squad's hopeless and anything like that. Lavia wasn't in the squad. Caicedo got thrown in as a panic move, and he had no match sharpness and just got hung out there to dry. It is what it is. Defense should have done a lot better, to be honest. I think that's where the game was really lost. That and the Chukwuemeka for Mudryk substitution. I get Chukwuemeka was injured and everything, but midfielder for a winger killed the balance. Should have been Andre Santos, who wasn't in the squad. Could have put Oguchukwu, could have even put Ian Matson in there. Bunch of different issues from Poch, to be honest, in terms of his management of the game, because the initial tactics were fine. I didn't have any problem with the starting lineup. We did that against Liverpool. It did well. It makes more sense you go into the West Ham game with the same formation. And we played well enough to win. It's just we didn't take the chance in the first half. Chukwuemeka gets injured. We start poorly in the second half and we just don't recover. It is what it is. But I never said this team was going for a title race, so I expect setbacks like this. It's annoying, but it can't be a constant. We have to respond against Luton. It has to be a convincing win against Luton. No 1-0 crap or anything like that. I need them to make a statement, but this one is just annoying. We haven't even brought two of our biggest new signings in. Like, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions off it, but it's annoying because it's a game that we should have won, and we didn't.
You're answering this very realistically, which I appreciate, but there's two things we have to ask you about before we allow the rest of the panel to kind of chime in. The Caicedo debut, I'm not saying for you to form an opinion on the guy based on one game. I'm just saying your thoughts on his debut and his debut alone. I'm just saying like the game itself. And what are your thoughts on the kind of the same recurring issue which you touched on, but I just want you to expand on it a little bit. The can't put the ball. Plus, if you could touch on Mudryk for me. So Caicedo, Mudryk, and the goal-scoring issues that you have right now.
Okay, Caicedo as a debut, if you just watch it without any context, it's absolutely dreadful. But no sharpness. I think he's had 245 minutes in pre-season and nothing else. Shouldn't have even come on the pitch. It was a straight panic move. It didn't work out. Literally got thrown out there to dry. It is what it is. If you're going to judge him off that, do you? Like, I'm not even going to go into the debate about it personally, but yeah, doesn't really mean anything. What was the second one you said?
The goal scoring issues, and if you can touch on Mudryk as well.
The goal scoring issues, it's annoying because there is nothing wrong with Nicholas Jackson's game in terms of everything I've seen in the last two games. He's been brilliant. But he's very involved in build-up play, and when we had that habit of getting the ball into good crossing positions, and nobody was in the middle. That was like, it was a positive and a negative at the same time. Then when West Ham take the lead, they go into a deep block, and we just can't do anything with that to save our lives, which is again annoying. But we don't really have the midfield reinforcement that we signed. I have to firm it for this one game. Still should have done better. It's still an L. We move. Mudryk. There's two things I want to say this, because he's not been good and I need to see more from him, but we haven't given him a run of games yet. For some reason, we're playing Ben Chilwell at left mid because he tracks back, but Ben Chilwell isn't even good defensively, so I don't get the point of it. Like, I would rather just give Mudryk some straight starts at left wing and let him focus and develop there, because we haven't done that. In spite of that, what he's offered was crap. That second half was dreadful from him. It was an awful performance. He wasn't in the same climate as Chilwell, for example, though. When we played in the first half, we had more space. Chilwell was getting the ball in open positions. Mudryk could have done a lot more in that situation. When Mudryk came on, it was a deep block. Couldn't do anything about it. Tight spaces. So in one aspect, he needs to do better as well. In another aspect, we need to just give him some faith. Give him a run of games, and then we can actually see what this player's made of. So it's layered. There's two ways you can look at it.
But what Caicedo, you said it's his debut. I agree with you. And like, okay, fair enough. That's why I said you can't judge him based on one game. But with Mudryk, 8 months in, Like you need to have like
He's had
some
7
form of
starts.
expectation.
He's had
Some
7
form of
starts.
expectation. Okay, but there must be some form of expectation at least.
Yeah, there's
Like, you can't-
expectations. I need to see improvement from him this season. I'm saying that his output hasn't been good enough.
Thank you.
I agree with you on that. I also
Thank you.
need to see us give him a run of games so he can either show up or he'll get cooked one way or the other. But 7 starts in 8 months. Like, what is he really meant? What momentum are you meant to build from that? There's nothing there. There's 2 layers to it. He needs to do more. He's not being given an opportunity though. £62 million signing. We are not starting this guy consistently, and I don't understand that. I'll be real with you. I don't understand that. Both times this season, he's come to the bench.
Okay.
Guys, Egal, Hamza. Let's let Hamza go first because I know Hamza got something loaded.
Just one thing as well.
Go.
He came on in the Liverpool game and he was very effective in the limited time that he was there. But he should have come on about 40 minutes earlier. Yes.
No, Mudrik wasn't effective. He should have won the game at the end. Let's be real.
But he was getting the ball into good positions.
Lewis, we can't be babying the players like this. We can't be babying these players, bro. We can't.
How can I ask something of someone who's not being given a run of games? Who's not being given a run of games?
He was getting into the positions, Hussein.
Okay, I understand completely. But here's the thing. For that price tag, because price tag matters whether we like it or not, he had a one-on-one at the end of the game. He should be winning you the game. That's the reality.
He should be playing consistently with that price tag as well. Like, I look at it in terms of the player and the player development. When it was Hudson-Odoi, for example, I backed him until he had multiple games at left wing and he didn't perform. Then I wanted him gone. Same thing for Mudrik. He hasn't had multiple games in that position. I can't judge him. I can't fully judge him.
No, but Lewis, this is why I get onto Chelsea so much. When you spend that type of money on an individual player, you should have a general idea and plan how your team can incorporate them into the team. You don't just go out and spend ridiculous amount of money for players and have no direct plan on how you're going to integrate them into the team or what you're signing them for. This is why I say Chelsea don't really have a plan. They might have a plan in the sense they want an age group or they know what kind of age range of player they want. But if you're going to just chuck money at the wall, eventually you maybe hit some signings. But the signing of Mudrik never made sense to me. You guys obviously need attacking strength, but the way he plays is not going to benefit you guys. You guys are going to have to find a way to fit him in. And 6 months in now, he still hasn't integrated. This is a guy you spend how much money for? 75 million euros?
6 months in with what, 4 managers?
Like, I think this is the same old Chelsea problem. You guys continuously misprofile signings, and you continuously have situations where you invest money into players who you directly have no idea what you're going to do with. But hey, going into the game though, same old Chelsea, bro. Same old Chelsea. Now I know the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game, you guys were gassed. You guys seen patterns of play. You're like, I'm excited about Poch's project. But the reality is, you missed chances in that game. You missed chances in this game. And you know what's even more worrying for Chelsea fans should look at? Your defense. It has young players. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make way more mistakes. Your midfield, guess what? You boss the possession, boss the midfield. But if the team is just gonna take one ball down the middle and then a cutback and then score, what does 90% possession mean if you're gonna concede 3 goals to a team that has 10% possession? And
it's a good thing Badia Shield's back in training.
Hey, so you're already telling me another player you misprofiled, Axel Disasi. Because I don't think he's gonna. You bought him to be what, a backup center back, or were you intending for him to be starting these games? Because
Murad is saying Bali thought he signed Beckham. That's mad.
But yo, let me get back to Chelsea though for a second, guys. This is how crazy Chelsea is. They're celebrating Kai Havertz and Mason Mount now scoring in 2 games, yet their team hasn't won 2 games in a row since March 11th. Also, they're talking about Enzo Fernandez being the best midfielder in the league. You know what? He might be, but he's only got 3 Chelsea wins under his belt in the Premier League. That was against Leeds.
That's a crazy stat. Crazy.
Against Leeds, against
3 wins
and against Bournemouth.
3 wins in 24 is mad. That's
and
mad.
And 2 of them were against relegation teams. That's mental.
To be fair, it's not his
fault. It's not mental when you go back to last season and remember how shit.
You want to know? You want to know what is crazy though? Chelsea, in the time under Todd Bowley, have made 28 signings
January,
and have less than 15 wins.
For 40 points until May, for goodness sakes. Like, come on, what are we doing? We already know why.
Yo, Lewis, I said you guys were gonna have a decent start to the season, and the reason why I said that was because I looked at some of these fixtures and I said, you know what, you have an easier start to the season. You should be shaking in your boots, quivering at the fact that you performed like that against West Ham. Because guess what? I thought the smaller teams were going to be the opportunity where you're going to get points. I thought West Ham's, these kind of teams are the teams you're going to get points.
That is the reaction.
These teams are going to shut up shop. 1 second. If teams are going to shut up shop defensively, and you already struggle to score goals, and now your defense is also looking leaky, what are you guys really good at? Chelsea only had their defense to back them.
Our 2 defensive midfielders haven't played yet. Well, one hasn't. He's not even been shot.
Guess what? You know what? I'm not saying you're not going to improve.
You really
I'm just merely pointing out
over 1 defeat. You really want me to
I'm merely pointing out facts. You're not clinical in front of goal. You have young defenders. You're going to make mistakes. Your team hasn't gelled yet. It's going to take them time to gel, and we're going to have to give them patience. Your manager himself had spoke about lack of experience, and two games into the season, we're seeing the same mistakes from last year, and we clearly can see that this whole year is going to be another transition year. Guess what? It's possible you can get it sorted out by the end of the season, but the likelihood of young defenders, young attackers to get you guys firing by the end of the season is very unlikely. And Lewis, I think you guys have been sitting on Kopish the whole transfer window. Keep trying to win transfer windows, because guess what? Every time you guys win a transfer window, you've won 3 transfer windows under Todd Bowley, but you've yet to win 3 consecutive games with Enzo Fernandez. That's crazy.
Bars right there. Bars.
That is great and everything, but if you really want me to panic in 2 games, then I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Bro, I don't expect you to panic. I expect you to eat up all the copium.
Great. In 2 games for Man United, in the first 2 games under Ten Hag, they lost both of them. They didn't panic and they finished 3rd. And you want me to sit here when we've already done better than what they did last season, and you want me to panic over 1 defeat? Like,
you want to know something? Man United last year had a bedrock of their defense. Their attack might not have been as good, but their defense was actually really good last year. I don't know what Chelsea are good at. Besides holding on to 90% possession and not doing shit, what are Chelsea good at?
Big up to JW. Says CFC wins all the duels as long as they're off the pitch.
No, but
that's
Lewis,
what Egal is saying. Winning the transfer window.
I'm not worried. When you're going to start worrying is when you're going to come on the stream and you're going to be like, Egal, you're right. Our defense is poor. Our attack is poor. I'm worried. That's what it's going to be.
We need to just spend 500 million more to fix it.
Yeah, if I become worried, yes, of course I'm going to do that, but I'm not worried. We go to Luton, we beat Luton, we move.
You better beat Luton after spending.
You better beat Luton.
Yeah,
you better beat Luton.
Why are you telling me
this?
You have to beat them.
I said this 5 minutes ago. Why are you telling me this?
No, and you know what, Lewis? And you know what? No, 1 second,
Egal.
1 second. Not just beat Luton. You need to.
5 minutes ago that we have to beat Luton convincingly.
Lewis, not just beat Luton. You need to wipe the floor with Luton.
I just said that too. Like,
you need 4-0. You need 4-0.
I said we must beat Luton and we must beat them convincingly. Literally 5 minutes ago.
I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad we agree on that.
So why are you all telling me that? I know this. We have to.
Okay. Before we go to
we must beat them as well. Then we
can only beat relegation sides anyways.
Fulham as well. We gotta beat them. This is an easy one again to make the most.
Fair enough. Let me just read these 2 super chats before we go to Hamza. Chelsea win all the deals as long as they're off the pitch, says JW. Facts. Sam, remember we have Newcastle first. Be calm. F being calm, bro. Newcastle gonna hold smoke this weekend. Big up to you, Omar. This show gets a 93% rating. Elephant of North London, says Waves. Waves, you're such an asshole, man. Big up to Faturu, who says Chelsea's record at London Stadium are shocking. 2 wins in 8. It's wasting time to cook Chelsea. It is what it is. We move. No. It is what it is. It is what it is. My ass with my Arab ass with a sand on it. You think we're just gonna skip by that shit? We ain't gonna skip by West Ham 3-1 Chelsea. Faturi, you're gonna have to sit there, hit the like, subscribe, and enjoy the show like the rest of us are enjoying the show, brother. So enjoy it. And finally, BIG says, hot take. If Arsenal or Man City signed Dominic Szoboszlai, they automatically win the league. City should have signed him. Szoboszlai greater than Mount and Havertz combined. I can lie, that's a W take right there. And I think BIG is even a City fan. He's saying, Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai would have probably fit in at City as well. He would have fit in at United. He would fit in at Arsenal. I think he's a kind of a jack of all trades player. So big up to you, BIG. But we're not here to talk about Szoboszlai. Hamza, the floor is yours. Chelsea football.
Yeah. Listen. Chelsea fan have to take that. Oh man, it is shameful. Like the way that if you spend that much money, you expected to beat West Ham. Like you expected to beat West Ham. It's 100%. You have to beat West Ham. Like look at West Ham's
Yeah,
player. Ward Prowse, Ben Rama. It's a joke, man. Emerson, Katzuma. These are Chelsea rejects. Katzuma, Emerson. You have to dunk on them easily. You spend that much money on the most expensive midfield in football history with what's the name? Caicedo, Lavia, and this 250 million. What costs them is their midfield. Enzo missed the penalty, and Caicedo coming off gave the penalty away. Those are the main guys that cost Chelsea. And not only that, they were playing 10 men. That's the worst thing. You know, West Ham had, I think around 65 minutes, yeah, they had the men sent. They were down for 25 minutes. You dunk on them. By that time, you finish them alive. Like for the fact that they lost the game 3-1, it doesn't matter how you played. It was shameful. It is shameful. Even you could see the owners there on the stands. They were ashamed. Like it's a ridiculous. It becomes a laughing stock because everyone knows Chelsea's a big club. We know you're a big club, Lewis. But the way to win, that is an expected win. It's a big, you expected to win that, Lewis. There's no question about it. Your players are underperforming. There's no leadership on the pitch. You have to agree. There's no leadership. Chelsea don't have leaders. They don't have leaders. There's no leaders of Terry, the Ballacks. They haven't got.
I agree. Ben Chilwell as our captain is a disgrace.
Chilwell's a captain, man. Guys, imagine Chilwell's a captain. Man, even me. He'll never disrespect Chilwell. He'll never lead me. I'll never lead a player like Chilwell telling me what to do. Like, not because he's won, but he's not a leader. He's not going to intimidate me. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't mean anything. He was a Leicester player 4 years ago. He means nothing to Chelsea. There's no leaders in that football club. This is a problem. There's no one who fights for the badge. The Chelsea history has changed. Like we used to see Dennis Wise, John Terry, all these guys were the real men, Essie and Bala. When you'd see them on the pitch, you say, oh shit, I'm playing them. But now you've already started where you left off. Like you already got 1 point, you're 15 in the league. Now everyone will believe we can beat Chelsea. That's the biggest mistake. You can't just say we move on. Criticism. There has to be criticism in that team. You are expected to win. By hook, by crook, you expected to win that point. Yeah? But it's shameful that now Chelsea are going to Luton saying that, oh, let's go. You're expected to beat Luton like 6-0. Thump them. I think Jackson's a good player. I think Jackson's a good player. Sterling had a performance that he's never had before. But you have to call out for Mudryk. What's happened to Mudryk? Why is he getting benched? Pochettino doesn't believe in him? 2 games in a row. An 100 million player is getting benched again. Yeah, benched again. There must be a reason. There must be a reason. He comes off the pitch and he misses that chance where Sterling lay off him. Yeah, Chukwuemeka was your best player. A young little kid was your best player. It was Caicedo coming off the pitch. Look, we were cussing people like Endo. He comes in, he does well. And we were praising Caicedo last week this time. And Caicedo comes in and he loses the game.
Caicedo's a sharpness issue, though. Like, straight up, he just shouldn't have played. It's the wrong move for him. He weren't ready.
And he tackled the guy in the penalty box as well. I don't think that's fitness.
I think Chelsea, they're in big trouble.
Sharpness, yes, like that plays a part.
I hear you, but he can be making penalty mistakes like that in game one. The problem is, you know, Lewis.
When he's fit, I agree with you. He ain't
guys, we banter Chelsea a lot, but I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I don't see a 10 goal Premier League player on their team.
That's a fact.
I don't see an individual player who can carry this team goal wise. Last game after Liverpool, Jackson, he's him. That's what people are saying. He's him. You know what? He might be in a year or two's time. But right now, this team still lacks the experience and does not have those players. You're still a striker signing away. And you still need more players. And to think this team spent £1 billion or whatever they spent, is it £1 billion, Lewis?
To be fair, losing both of your 10s to knee injuries does play a part with
that.
Of course, but your 10s are not strikers. You're still going to need another striker.
And Buku would have been guaranteed 10 goals in the season.
Yeah, he's scoring. He's scoring.
would have.
But you know the problem is you
That's fair.
need goals from everywhere. You need goals from everywhere. You need goals from, let's say, example, Arsenal have Jesus can score, Ketia can score, Odegaard can score. We can have Rice can score a header, Saliba can win a game. But the thing is with Chelsea, okay, is Jackson. Who else can you see winning you the game?
See, the thing is,
that's why, Lewis, I asked
other
you that
than-
question. And that's why I said when Egal was talking about it, I said he's right when he said the same old Chelsea part. You can't put the ball in the back of the net. That's the biggest problem. And I think the problem still exists, in my opinion.
I think it's just the problem with our attack is there's a lot of young players who need to prove themselves. And until then, nobody's going to say that they have that belief in them. So I actually understand you guys' stance on this. Other than maybe Sterling, because like he actually looks like he's starting the season well for once. I'm not really too sure, but it's up to them to show that to you. They have to do that themselves. So I need to see that in the next few games before I can make that claim. But I get what
your
you're saying.
defense? The defense is the same problem because before
I don't feel that worried about our defense.
No.
Even
I'm telling you right now, bro. You have youngsters in your defense. Badia Shield that you're waiting on. Like Levi Colwell.
Shield's been class for us, even with the shit we had.
It doesn't matter. They're young. They're gonna make mistakes. Saliba's class.
Shield
He's
not
young.
made
He
mistakes.
make mistakes.
But this is waffle. He's not made mistakes.
No, but Shield's good.
Is Haaland young? Does he make mistakes? Like, what are we talking about?
1 second. Defenders who are young are not experienced enough, and they don't have the same level of composure, and they've not been throughout the same situations as experienced defenders. Only having Thiago Silva as your experienced defender, you're going to see a drop-off in your defensive performances. Chelsea's bedrock in what made them successful over the last couple of years, even though you guys were not finishing your dinner, was your defense. Now you don't even have that, in my opinion. By just looking at the age and the profile of your players, you're going to consistently see performances where you're like, you know what? They should have done better here. They should have done better there. And an example is Antonio's goal. An experienced defender does not let Antonio do what he did.
Judging them in 2 games, and this is
no. I'm not judging nobody. I'm being honest. This is well known. This is a well-known fact. This is a well-known fact. Ask anybody here. You have a young defender in your team. You're going to see mistakes from him. But guess what? You have 3. You're going to see mistakes from all of them.
This is absolute waffle. Badia
How is it
Shield
waffle? It's a fact.
I'm literally trying to
manager.
Bruv, let me fucking talk.
Go ahead.
Badia Shield has been playing since January and has barely put a foot wrong. Colwell has been one of Brighton's best players last season in the Premier League in defense. And you want to sit here and just waffle that, oh, they're young, they will make the mistakes. It's been 2 fucking games. I'm not listening to this shit. I'm not worried about our defense. The only defenders that worry me is Chilwell and Cucurella. Now, if you mention them, I understand that. I am not worried about the centre-backs. Not worried about them at all.
But you want to know something? You better be, because that is an actual fact. It's not a bold statement. This is actual reality. Everyone here can back me on it. Everyone in the chat can back me on it. Yeah. When you have young defenders, you're going to see more mistakes from them. And when you have multiple young defenders in the same starting 11, you're going to see even more. That's just the reality. Thiago Silva can only do so much.
John Terry won Player of the Year award at what, 20, 21 years old?
It doesn't matter how many Player of the Year awards you've won. You're at Chelsea. You're at Chelsea Football Club. At the age of 21,
Silver in the middle, and he makes everybody better next to him as well. But sure, they're going to make
the issue is
you're literally waffling.
The issue is,
you want me to give you direct quotes from your own manager talking about young defenders?
No, I want you to not give me facts about our players after 2 games.
I'm not. The mistake you're making is you're thinking this fact only applies to your players. This applies to everybody. Anybody who has young defenders, they're going to see inconsistent performances from that young defender or young player in general. And you think you can have a team with
young players.
1 second. You think you can have a team with a 25-year-old Axel Disasi. What do you call it? You have Fafana, who's injured, of course. What do you call it? Badia Shield. You have Gattuso. What's his name? What's that guy's name? Malik Gasoto or whatever.
Big up Aaron, man. Big up Aaron.
And then you got Levi Colwell, Cucurella, Sarr. This team overall, you don't have as much composure in that defense as you used to, and that's fair to point out.
Egal.
Follow the super chat. That's your opinion, innit? I don't need to go back.
The only thing that about Chelsea is
judging my team on 2 games, and we haven't even brought in the 2 midfielders that we signed a week ago. Whatever, man. I don't care. Whatever.
Egal. The only thing is I will say the leadership. Like in terms of the captain was chosen as Reece James, who's never fit, and the sub captain, vice captain is a guy who's also hardly plays sometimes. He gets injured very often. So you got people who are the sickest in the team. They're the sickest patients. They're the captain. They're the leaders. So one's already fallen off. Chew already in the game. He gets taken off. Leaders don't get taken off immediately because they're having bad performance. Often leaders get taken off when they had good performances. You see KDB coming off, or they're winning 2-0, or KDB give the armband away. You see what I'm saying? Chew got taken off to try and restructure the game. That's when I look at Chelsea and think, who's running that football club? Who's making those kind of decisions? Where's the leadership?
You know what?
Where's the unity?
You're making fair points because I'm worried about that. I am worried about that as well.
That's that part.
The leadership, that's a big problem with us.
Chilwell fighting for the badge. When you play Chelsea,
like we're giving it to younger players and not Thiago Silva because we want them to grow into the role. But now we're in a position where we don't have anybody that's stepping up yet. Like, I get that. I actually get that. Leadership's a big issue with us. So, and that's why I'm saying we need to get experienced players in. I get we want to build a young squad, but you need experience within that squad, and we don't have that. That's the only real question mark I have with us right now.
So far you've agreed on attack and leadership. Those are the 2 things that you think could be a problem going forward.
Attacking the case, they need to step up, but like I'm not concerned about that yet. Leadership and left backs, that's what I'm worried about. Because Chilwell and Cucurella, that's a question mark to me, the pair of them.
What happened to the Machin guy that you were big on in pre-season?
Why didn't he come on for Carney? I don't know. I was asking the same question because I think we would have restored the balance with him. Like he had brilliant IQ. We played him in 3 different positions in pre-season. He balled out in all of them. Like I don't get it either. That annoyed me too. But I don't know. Maybe he'll get some opportunities against Luton or fucking Wimbledon in the League Cup. But that would have been a better option for us. I'd prefer him at left back over both Chilwell and Cucurella right now.
Yo, Hussam, as the neutral on this, do you feel like the experience point also applies to the defense? As Lewis is clearly triggered by me mentioning that the defense is young.
I mean, with
Thiago Silva literally sits there at 38 years of age, but sure.
Simple answer is with Thiago Silva there, no. Without him there, yes. I think if Thiago Silva's on the bench, then that conversation is 100% valid. I think you need Thiago Silva.
Meanwhile, he's played every minute this season, and we're waffling about the leadership within the back line.
No, no, but that's what I'm saying. If he starts, then no. Because of him, you know. But it is what it is. Anyone else want to say something on Chelsea, or Staffy? You want to sit there like a shy woman on her engagement day, and you don't want to say anything? Khalas? Not even your thoughts, your opinion.
It's not even that.
Gonna get cooked next.
No,
So
it's not even that. At first, I can't get a word.
At least just give us your opinion on the game. Don't cook her.
Let me speak. I was just speaking and you interrupted me, and then you wonder. A lot of arguing going back and forth because Lewis has to sit here and defend, which I think, in my opinion, was silly points that are being made from Egal. He wants so bad to force this thing about the defense is inexperienced. But at least wait, I'll tell you something. If we came off a game where like the defense just made so many mistakes and they just absolutely fumbled the 3 points, we can sit here and have this talk. But like, it's not even that game ago. They didn't lose because the defense made mistakes. You know what I mean? You're talking about something that you think just hypothetically will happen throughout the season. And I feel for Lewis because he's sitting there arguing. He's actually saying, listen, we haven't had issues with the experience with our defenders. You tried to say something about Ishili being young. Someone in the comments just mentioned he said he has over 150 professional games under his belt. Obviously, it's not a huge number, but that is enough experience for someone who's young. You know, I had to sit here and hear for a whole year that Saliba is better than Varane last season, even though experience was never mentioned because everyone was talking about his potential and what he's done at such a young age. Regardless of that being right or not, I don't think we can't keep switching the narrative based on our hate towards a team and our love towards a team. You know, we can't be bigging up Saliba saying he's this and that, even though he doesn't have that much experience. But then we're talking about Chelsea and saying they don't have experience in defense, and their defense hasn't cost them anything. Like, let's at least wait when it makes sense to talk about it. Other than that, I think Chelsea has a lot going on. It's no secret that it's quite of a mess still. The issue is that team is so young, but they've spent so much money. So we're always going to be talking about the money in correlation to this team. You know, it's never going to be justified that they paid that much money and they're not playing good yet. If you realistically take away the money, you would understand. Because if you take away the money, if you explain to an outsider that this team is a young team on the upcoming, he'd be like, oh, okay, give them a couple years, give them a season or two, and they'll be okay. But then when you tell him, oh, by the way, they spent $1 billion on that, he's going to be like, I don't know football, but if you told me you spent $1 billion, you should be at least winning trophies. So the two don't match. Unfortunately, Lewis, you're going to have to live with that for the next season or so until you guys actually.
Yeah. That's why
it's the headache that you're going to keep having, unfortunately. But if we're trying to actually be reasonable here, we should separate the both, because we know they're not going to win the league because they spent $1 billion. We can demand it all we want. We can banter them all they want, but we know they're not going to win it. So let's stop talking about that. Okay. In terms of just the game, yes, the game, I mean, they kept possession. They missed their chances. I believe they had like 40 goals last season, something like that. 38. I thought it was 40. I could swear.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying. That's why when I mentioned goals, that's a constructive thing to say.
Yeah, so I agree with it, and Lewis actually agreed with it, and that's the one thing I wanted to mention. I think Egal waffled too much about the defense when he should be talking about the front line. That would have made more sense.
The attack, everyone knows, it's self-explanatory. The reason why I pointed out the defense,
yeah, but it's justified to talk about it. Egal.
The reason why I pointed out the defense is because Chelsea were always good at defense, and everyone is missing my point. It's not about individual attacks on individual players. It's merely pointing out that young defenders make mistakes, and if you want to point out young players on my team, your team, any team, that's just a fact. We cannot be annoyed by the reality that young defenders make mistakes, and Chelsea are starting.
Okay, yeah. So when they make a mistake, we'll talk about it.
Defenders. We're not doing that. We have Saliba, but yes, next to him we have Gabriel, who's like 25. We have Ben White on the other side, who's like 24. We have guys who are at least a little bit more experienced.
Yeah, but you're.
Someone said it in it, not me in it, but I agree with that person as well in it. But I was not the one that, you know what I'm saying?
The attack is easy to point out. Everyone knows this. Chelsea's attack is bad. Woo! What a shock! It's been bad for 4 years.
So call it out.
There's no need to call out the obvious. I'm calling out the things that people don't think about. I'm ahead of the curve.
Listen, I said, don't say ahead of the curve. I said it yesterday. Listen, I said it yesterday on the. I said it yesterday. In 3 weeks' time,
when you guys come back to me and apologize, I'll be sitting here.
Egal, what do you want an apology for? I feel like you want so many apologies, Egal, for making predictions. Yesterday, I said on the terrace, I told them I'm ahead of the curve, and they laughed at me. But I actually said I'm ahead of the curve because there's things that I called out that ended up happening.
I just want to be first to something. That's what this is.
I feel like Egal is going to wait for one mistake that a defender's going to make, and he's going to be like, remember that one time on Hassan's channel when I said they don't have experience? Saliba made a mistake yesterday, and he had to make a tackle to cover for it.
Guess what? He's world class. He's world class. He does that. Now
he's young,
if Chelsea, one second, Hussein, you're not going to complain about the midfield because you know about the midfield. You're going to complain about Mo Salah and the attack not scoring goals or the defense being poor, right? If you know what an issue is, so let's stop attacking Chelsea for their attack because we already know their attack.
But they didn't win this game because they didn't score goals. They score these goals, they win the game. They had a lot of chances.
Said Disasi's 25 years old without needs experience.
Bro, if I wrote the script for you, if I wrote the script for you in the West Ham game, what's more shocking? The fact that Chelsea didn't score goals or the fact that they conceded 3 to West Ham?
Yeah, but you have to add the context to it, Egal.
Did they miss the penalty? Did they give away a penalty?
Was a defender that gave it away. It was Caicedo that everyone here would take in their team, Egal. If I tell you want Caicedo in your team right now, you would say yes. So you're calling out. That's what I'm saying. You're just removing the context. And I get it, bro. Listen, there's no love lost between you and Chelsea. and that's fine. I'm not here to tell you to feel any sympathy towards them.
Mhm.
I'm just saying I'd rather
But
sit
don't
here.
sit here and say I'm chatting shit about defenders when you
No,
clearly
you're
agree with
waffling
me.
about the wrong thing,
Well,
Egal.
you
We
are.
should be
You
talking
are,
about them
yeah,
not scoring goals. If you scored 38 goals in a season and you're missing sitters and Mudryk is just clearing his line, the way he took that shot, he looked like a defender. He looked like he was trying to clear it. You know, when that ball that I forgot who crossed it, I think it was Sterling, and it missed Jackson, it missed someone behind him, and Chilwell took the softest shot I've ever seen in the hands of the goalkeeper. I'm sitting here and calling out these things because you should be scoring a lot more goals.
You know
I would
what?
be sitting here, I would be sitting here and saying, listen, if you want to, I'll teach you how to have a hatred narrative against a team. You can sit here and tell them you spent $1 billion on this team, and you're bringing on a striker who's 20 years old and played for Charlton. That's the incompetence that they had in this club. This is how you can sit here, because even Lewis, listen, I'm saying that to him, and Lewis is like, you know what? He's not even wrong. But if you came and spoke about that, Lewis would consider, like, you know what? You got props.
Bro, someone in the comment section just said, no, wait. Someone in the comment section, Reece James 24, Chilwell 25, Silver's 37, Disasi's 25, and we're talking about experience. Like, oh, you just want to be first to something. You made the dumbest point. There could have been.
You want to know something? I'll flip it on you. Maybe you guys.
Every time he
have
says
good
that, I'm
defenders.
just swearing it's your opinion.
Maybe you guys have good defenders. Maybe you have good defenders, but it's for the other team.
That's not my point, Egal. You could be right. I'm just saying you're calling
that
out
was
the
a
wrong
terrible
thing.
line.
Just call it out when it makes sense, Egal. And I'm not backing Lewis because like I don't give a shit about Chelsea, honestly. I'd rather sit here and call out the real issues with this team, and the real issues is yes, I agree with the one thing. I think Hamza said that they have no leadership. And when you look around that team, other than Sterling and Thiago Silva, I'm not looking at anyone that you can look at and be like, you know what, he's been there and done that. That is an actual issue. You know, James is the captain, and he's out injured. Chilwell is the captain, and yes, I do agree. You look at him, and he's not captain material. Silva, listen, people saying that Silva should have had the armband. You know, Silva's a captain without the armband, anyways. There's no one in that locker room that's not respecting Silva. Everyone knows on that pitch, anyways, when Silva speaks, they're talking to him. So ignore the fact that the armband is not on his arm. Yes, they did that move for the future because they're building a team for the future. But yes, it is concerning if I'm a Chelsea fan right now, I'd be concerned that I don't have enough leaders on that pitch. There's a striker that can hold listen, if we're tired or we're losing, he can take over the game. Like, remember Thierry Henry? They'd be losing. He's like, you know what? Give me that ball. And he would just dribble the whole pitch and try to score. They don't have a striker like that with that aura and that leadership. They don't have anyone in that midfield besides maybe Enzo, in my opinion, who when he plays, you can see that emotion. He wears his heart on his sleeves. You can tell that he's pissed that he's losing. So they don't have enough of these guys. I agree. So it's a young team. They're going to have a lot of these issues, and I do think they need to do something about it. I know they spent a lot of money, but unfortunately, I still think they got to spend more.
Speaking of leadership, I want to move on to Man United. But before we do that, guys, there's 1,100 people watching us. We cannot be not on 500 likes yet. Everyone right now, slap the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. We're going to head to the super chats now before we go to the Man United topic. Everyone right now, please like, subscribe. Right now, this very second, hit that like button. Subscribe to This Is Football if you're yet to do so right now. Big up to everyone who sent in a super chat. Big up to JW says, billionaires of Chelsea sunk by a homespun industry. I can't lie, the West Ham L is embarrassing. We just have to be honest. They're going to firm that though. Charge it to the game, as they say. Egal and Hussam with constructive listening. Astaghfirullah. 2 days in a row on a Lewis stream. We literally said we must beat Luton. All love. You'll see me on TV Friday night football. Hey, my brother, I don't think I'm going to be sitting at home watching Chelsea and Luton. I'm probably going to go out, you know? So that's my thing, my brother Fatur. Big up to you. Yeah, Friday night I'm going out still. I won't be real. I got to sit up there and watch Chelsea Luton. Let's just call a spade, innit? Big up to you, Fatur. Big up to BIG says, I'm an LFC fan. Don't associate me with that fake club. I know you are, BIG, but I had to run the agenda, brother. Focus. Wow. Big up to you. Big up to Wave, who says, Chelsea is an under-23 team. Give them 4 years to shine. I have no problem with that narrative. I think Chelsea fans would have a bigger problem with that narrative than I would. So that's yes. my honest opinion. Yes. That's the reality. You're a Chelsea fan, Lewis. Show some fight, says JK.
I hear that, but I'm not doing it when the arguments are stupid, innit? Like, when we're having serious debates, I'm down for it.
Okay, on a real, if you lose or draw to Luton, then that's when you would genuinely it'll be a crime type thing.
Yo,
you would agree with
we must. Like with all of you, we must. No questions asked, no ifs, no buts, no maybes. I want a convincing victory against Luton and nothing
perfect.
more.
So if this Friday it ends 1-1,
we will talk next week if we
okay,
don't.
no problem. If it ends 1-1 this Friday, then all hell is gonna break loose, and you accept it.
Yeah, we're gonna have conversations. We're gonna have uncomfortable conversations. That's
No
fine.
problem. Big up to Gavin, who said Arsenal had the youngest squad last year, Lewis. They did, and they did really well.
Nice.
So
that was also the excuse when they didn't win the league. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's a positive when it's a positive. It's a negative when it's a negative.
Hey, the game's the game. Big up to Jose. That's one of Staffy's boys. Big up to everyone on the panel except Staffy, since he cooked me on his channel earlier. But everyone, make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, listen to Jose, man. Hit the like button, subscribe.
This
Big
guy
up to
came
you,
on my
Jose.
channel saying you can have Lukaku. And then he wonders why I don't read his comments. Get out of here.
I mean, if you guys need him.
This is the same guy, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Same guy you told me about who watches Lewis's channel and everything, right?
He's a Chelsea fan. He has the.
Big up
Big up
Jose,
to you,
right?
big up to you, Jose, man. Big up to you. Real one right there. And I agree with you. Staff can hold that. Arsenal fan here. You guys are too harsh on Chelsea. Let me tell you something right now, Charlie. Had Arsenal lost 1-0 to Palace, Lewis would be screaming the first half an hour. So let's just keep the energy the same, Charlie.
The game is the game. I understand it.
yeah.
I understand it.
Game's the game. Enzo Fernandez would be Chelsea captain. I think he deserves to be Chelsea captain. He's quality as well.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Big up to Ed, who says Egal wins spice rack up from Hamza. He's cooking. Big up to you, Ed. I can't lie, he is cooking. Rep Cruz says Egal made an excellent point there about young defenders, and Lewis, you too cocky, mate. Humble yourself. You got touched by West Ham. His expression needs to be locked up, man. Because now
It makes sense when you have a 25-year-old Chilwell and a 38-year-old Thiago Silva in the back line, which is why, again, I said it doesn't make sense.
man like expressions, man. Got touched up by West Ham. That's become a thing because of expressions, by the way. Big up expressions. Big up to Rishi, who says disagree. AC Milan won the title with young defense. The AC Milan league title is a bit iffy though, because there's many circumstances around it that made it possible. Big up to Waves, who says Boli is here for the money. In 130 years, no team won with under 23s. It's clear this model doesn't work, and that's why they sacked Tuchel, because he knew. Hey, if you're trying to make a profit, I think he's starting with a bad job, because he's already in loss as things stand with all these contracts and shit. So it is what it is. I just wanted to call Egal a beta male. Thanks. Wow. Don't respect my guy Egal like that.
You respect.
Egal and Sense don't go in the same sentence. Egal just said Gabriel at 24 has experience, but Disasi at 25 doesn't have any. Make up your mind. In terms of Premier League experience, he'd be right if he's talking about Premier League experience, because Disasi doesn't have that yet. Gabriel has that. So that would be a valid argument, in my opinion, if he's talking about Premier League.
Talking about Premier League experience, though, he's just saying experience.
Adam says how much to kick Egal out, lol. He's talking bullshit. I'm gonna be honest with you, my brother. I'm a man of principle. I'll not put a price tag on any of these guys' head tops. I need them all, man. Big up to you, Adam. Big up to Murad, who says, Lewis, give us the 70 million for Balogun. Nah,
Nope.
Allow it, Murad.
Get your habits, get back on me. No.
Allow it. That's at 70 M's. Allow it. I'm not gonna read that comment. I'll just say thank you for the super chat, but keep it stepping. Big up
Wait. No. Go back.
I cannot put it up. It's so too far up now.
What was his name? What was his name? Liverpool to Adai. Listen, Liverpool to Adai. I definitely have no intention of doing that. But listen, I'll volunteer your mom for it, or your missus if they want to.
Damn. Lewis, follow Tobes. He's proper Chelsea. Do you know Tobes?
No.
Okay, fair enough. He's one of the guys from
Tobes, a proper Chelsea legend.
He was considering Pochettino
I
out
know.
already.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Donating 5 for a 1-0 loss to Chelsea. Let's go. If Chelsea lose against Luton, I think even Lewis would be like, nah, you guys, like, you're right. It's because that's just insane. Luton are shit, bro. In the first 2 games, they've been crap. Big up to Queen Nadra, says Chelsea is not a diverse team. They need different kinds of quality players. I agree, Nadra. And last week, what I said was actually they need a robot. They need one of them ones like, other than goal scoring, what does he do? They need one of them players who's just such a bot, just puts the ball in the back of the net. I think Lewis right now would take the biggest robot with zero technique if I give him 20 goals. He'd shake my hand right now because they just need goals. Like, yeah, 100%. So that's the thing. Anyway, we're back. 1,100 people here. We're gonna move on to Man United now. As I said, please do hit that like
Sam, let me just make one statement. You know, I just researched. You know, Disasi has played 4 games for France, and Saliba, who you're supposed to call world class, has only played 8 games for France. So you're shitting on a guy that's only played 4 extra international games for than Disasi, like literally. Egal, and you're calling the guy world class.
You want to know something?
That's the problem with Arsenal.
Stop saying that, Egal. Stop saying
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Bro,
When you call a world class
No,
player,
Saliba's not experienced.
First things first. First things
He's
first.
gonna make mistakes.
One second. You shameless individual.
Just show
Hamza,
shame.
Hamza, you're the most shameless individual. When I tell you Saka starts over Phil Foden for the England team week in, week out, what do you say to me?
England's a joke. We're talking about France. France is heritage. France wins World Cup.
Listen, Egal, I'm gonna need you to just take it on the chin. We need to talk about Man United. Hamza, leadership right here. Leadership right here. We need to talk about
that's
Man United.
Konates, the guys. If at least you
We're not gonna start.
Or Upamecano, Varane, I would understand. But to call Disasi shit and his guys got only 4 extra appearances than Disasi, it's a joke.
Bro, you want to know something?
Fact.
How much money?
Egal. I want to talk about Man United. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing a Disasi Saliba argument? بالله عليك دقيقة stuff. I don't want to do a Disasi Saliba argument. Please, let's just move to Man United.
I was just gonna say one thing. Wallah, I just want to say it's so beautiful that Hamza even knows that stat. Only Hamza would be able to tell you that Disasi has
Hamza pulls up these stats out of nowhere.
I would have never known that if I didn't know Hamza.
Same. A big up to Bad Guy says this is for FSG to buy players. Come on, everyone, chip in. Big up to you, Bad Guy, man. I appreciate it. This Bad Guy from Space as well. Shout out, Bad Guy, man. So yeah, as I said, make sure you guys are smashing those likes. Make sure you guys are subscribing. There is the topic of another embarrassment. Manchester United, Mr. Mustafa. Talk to the people, Habibi. Man United 0, Spurs 2.
No, I'm not gonna start the talk. I've done it twice already in this channel. I would rather people start the talk about this club, about this game, and I will answer because I have spoken twice already. I'm not gonna speak for a third time for people to try to tell me I'm deflecting and making excuses and ask me the same questions that I've answered twice on this channel. So I'd rather, Hamza, I know you have a lot that you want to say. I'd rather get it done with.
So you just want to get...
Just take the bet.
I'm gonna Hamza to the start directly. خلاص.
Listen, because no matter what I say, this is the most shameless show that I do every week. There's no logic that's gonna be applied.
That's a lie. Allah was more shameless. That's a lie.
La, wallahi, bro, any show that has Hamza, you know the shamelessness is off the. So if Hamza was on the Ahwa, I would agree with you. But Hamza being here, you know this is about to be the most shameless take. So Hamza, I already said enough. I already admitted enough. I already gave my take. I'd rather you just roast it and ask me questions if you want, because I'm not going to speak all that just for you to debunk it.
Staffy was spitting on something earlier on. We need to get this merch. We need a shirt with. Want to know something? I need to get a shirt with.
Well, I need to buy that.
It would genuinely sell well. It would genuinely sell well.
Yeah, hire someone and give me just 2% royalty, because I'm telling you.
Egal, yes or no? Just yes or no. So we respect our guy waves. Is Pepe a flop?
In comparison to Anthony and
why are you making comparisons, bro?
So we can move on.
In comparison to Anthony and Mudryk, no, but based on what we bought him for, yes.
Okay, Hamza, Man United lost to Spurs. Talk to the people. Staffy just gave you the floor. Go for it.
Listen, to me, all I'll say, I've been saying about this club for many years. I've been saying it. Listen, another manager, another L. There you are. That's heritage. Another manager, another L. I've been saying for a long time, this great Manchester United that you guys talk about, this great Man United, no matter who they get as a manager, the same old story. Nothing changes. Egal. Nothing changes. They change managers. They tell us, oh, we got Ten Hag. It's the final straw. We've tried Mourinho, who won at every level. Yeah, sacked. It was Mourinho's fault. They threw him under the bus. LVG threw him under the bus. My guy won the Champions League at Ajax with the young Ajax team, one of the greatest team in the Champions League history. Yeah, he went to Barcelona, Bayern Munich. He won the league titles there. He came there. He said, "This club is done." They got the guy Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the guy who knew the history, sweated, understood Staffy, has gone through Staffy's hero. These guys threw him under the bus, threw the legend of CR7 under the bus. They got this bold fraud. The biggest mistake of this bold fraud, what he did, he talked too early. He was too confident. He sold them a dream. But now they've seen this guy is a little bit fraud. They already started Ten Hag out. So the camp is split now. United fans are split. Yeah, they're saying some want to give him time.
By the way, match-going United fans are saying Ten Hag out also.
Yeah, they're already pushing on the guy. They want him out already. For some, they've already turned on him. For some, they're fighting each other. They used to laugh at Arsenal FTV. Look at Egal. Look at Egal's fighting amongst Arsenal fans. And Egal was shouting last year, Staffy this season. Staffy will have to fight its fan base. Tottenham Football Club. This is the history of the bottlers. I'm not disrespecting Tottenham, but Tottenham with that hurricane, with a manager called Postecoglou, a manager who was fighting Kilmarnock, Hearts, Aberdeen, Clyde, Dumbarton. These were the guys that he was fighting last year. He comes here, second game of the season. We told you guys. I told you, your last game was Wolves. You struggled. You luckily won that game in your Old Trafford place. The same De Zerbi guy I've been telling you is way better than this bold fraud. Now you're seeing what I'm talking about. When I told you De Zerbi is way better man than this bold fraud, you guys didn't see. De Zerbi lost his McAllister and Caicedo, went with Pascal Gross and Billy Gilmore and dunked on the guys that were struggling with. Away, Wolves 4-1, game done. They dunked on them.
I can't lie, when Brighton beat Wolves 4-1, you're like, whoa, this is embarrassing.
They raised eyebrows. United fans were raising eyebrows. Okay. Then the game started. Struggled, outpossessed, outclassed, dunked on. We can use any word. 100 million failure. That winger, the Rabona boy on the side. Yeah, all he does is run the world, the same old shit, same old thing. He does the same. Complains, shouting, got substituted. Mason Mount, Chelsea fans, whatever you did to Man United, that's criminal. They sold Mason Mount. Mason Mount got taken off, and you can just see there. Mason Mount was like, "Yo, I wish I was at Chelsea. I wish at least at Chelsea. This is what did I come here for? What have I come here for? It's better he stayed at Chelsea." Casemiro, Basuma revived his career in the game. They gave players a career. Pape Sarr was doing back heels and Rabonas and little step overs like Rivaldo. At one point, I thought, 1 second, did you see when Tottenham were playing 1-2? Man United could not get the ball. They nearly scored with Son. And I thought, Ten Hag did not know what to do. He did not know what to do. This is Tottenham with a hurricane.
That's actually true, by the way. Hamza's not just cooking, he's spitting facts. Ten Hag really didn't know what to do. He really didn't know what to do. That's a fact.
I said that.
Bold fraud thought this is
man, that's why I'm saying it's a fact.
I said that on Saturday.
This bold fraud.
No problem, we can hear it again.
1 second. This bold fraud thought he was playing NEC Breda, Hereven, and all that. Premier League is a different ball game. You don't know Eric Division come and dunk on people here. You respect Premier League. It's heritage. Arteta had to spend time with my guy, learning the job, seeing, understanding, taking notes to reach that level. Now Egal is reaping the rewards of what my football club did. Yeah? You see, you just don't get... Klopp came here and learned quickly with a small squad. But this is a second season spending 400 million. We don't know a style of play. There's something we don't know. How can you spend 400 million for only Hoofy and say, inshallah, he will get there to Rashford? The same season. They said, give him a season. They said...
Even the comments agreeing with you here. Wallah, losing to Spurs with 400 million is a crime. They're saying it. It's a crime to lose to Spurs 400 million.
Anyone who backs Ten Hag today, after that game, you must be ashamed of yourself. You must
so you're making fun of... Hold on. Because you just scored an own goal there. You just made fun of the people that are saying Ten Hag out. But then you're saying if you're not saying Ten Hag out, you should be ashamed of yourself. So to you, it's a lose-lose situation, Hamza.
I think after spending 400 million, there's no style of play, and I'm seeing De Zerbi losing his two midfielders, no making excuses, outplaying teams. I'm raising my eyebrows and say, this guy's a fraud. This guy's a fraud. And you know what, Staffy? Keep him. It's my first time I'm saying, I'm Ten Hag in. I want Ten Hag to stay. The longer he stays for me, the more better for me, because I know you might get De Zerbi. For me, I want him to sell you the dream. What did he say after the interview when he lost 2-0? What did he say? What was his excuse, Staffy? What did he say?
I actually don't remember.
You don't remember because you're traumatized.
You can remind me because I don't know what you're trying to reference.
I knew you remember.
What are you referring to?
Egal, go.
After that,
Egal, before you go, I have a problem with this. I actually genuinely have a problem with this host way, and I'll tell you why. First of all, big up for the super chat. Thank you. Second of all, last week, I didn't come here and I say, in the first 20 minutes, everyone on this panel would agree Liverpool at Stamford Bridge could have scored 4 goals in the first 20 minutes. What does that mean? If you don't take your chances, right now, Lewis, we sat here, we spoke for 40 minutes. What if Chelsea took their chances? We can't live our life based on what if. You either take your chances or you didn't. And I can reverse that argument on you. Pedro Porro hit the bar. And 30 seconds later, they hit the post again. And in the second half, Josue, because you taught me how to say your name properly, in the second half, Josue, Spurs could have scored 4 or 5 goals easily. So even if I do the what if for Spurs, 4 or 5 goals other than the 2 that they scored, Spurs could have won that game, no exaggeration, 5-0. So this whole thing of saying what if? Okay, at the end of the day, you lost because you weren't good enough. You didn't take your chances. That's the reality of football, my brother. Go ahead,
Josue's point, though, is that it's not just the manager's fault, which I agree with him, because as much as I'm blaming the manager, and I've said
it's the manager's fault on the terrace.
No, I did. No, I've said it here as well. I blamed the manager, but I also blame the players, because the players in the first half should have scored. If you score and you go at halftime 2-0 up, you go in the second half, and the tactics are different. You don't have to attack the Spurs team, who, let's be very honest, they're playing a good brand of football. They're playing attacking football. They're not the same Spurs from Antonio Conte for 90 minutes. So you don't have to do. So his point is, yes, if you score these chances, Bruno should have scored, Rashford should have scored, Garnacho should have scored, and we should have had a penalty. So that's 4 chances to put the game out, to put the game away early. Because I think 2-3-0. Yes, I'm not saying it's all ifs, buts, and maybes. Yes, that's how football is, because everyone's going to tell me, yes, well, Spurs created chances in the second half, and I'm not disagreeing. But you put your chances early, you don't concede the same chances in the second half, because we wouldn't be as open as we were in the second half. You can tactically play the game.
But can you reverse that on the Wolves game?
The Wolves game is different, because the Wolves game was a different approach by the team.
Okay, so Wolves could have won that game. See how I can reverse it?
Oh, you're talking about the events in the game. No, of course. Wolves could have won the game, and they had themselves to blame outside of the penalty. Listen, I'm agreeing with you. Outside of the penalty, they have no one to blame but themselves. But I am saying but that's what I'm saying. The Wolves
but that's why Josue is wrong. At the end of the day, taking your chances is part of football. You didn't take your chances.
Exactly. So he's saying don't just blame the manager, because the manager in the first half got the tactics right. So Josue is right. The second half,
but you know what makes it? You know what makes it the manager's blame anyway? I will actually respond from football perspective, logically. You know what makes it the manager's fault? You didn't want Mount, but Ten Hag wanted him.
I agree.
You didn't want Anthony, but Ten Hag wanted him. You didn't want Rashford playing down the middle, but Ten Hag chose to do that. You didn't want Garnacho, I believe, and Ten Hag did it. Bruno and Mount together. Casemiro doing too much work. All of these things are Ten Hag decisions, not my decision or yours.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. What Josue said it perfectly. It should be shared blame between the both. Because if the team did what they're supposed to do in the first half, the manager doesn't have a stinker in the second half. So everyone's getting blame, in my opinion. Okay? So if we're being very objective, I understand we're trying to joke around and banter and say all that, and Hamza had his cooking fest that he wanted to have. But if we were being very objective, the manager got a lot of things.
By the way, Hamza's being objective even when he was
honest.
He actually spoke the truth.
The fact I said 400 million spent and there's no style of play, is that wrong?
Is
Yeah,
Mount
that's
wrong?
what I'm saying. I
wrong?
agree with you. The manager
Very
should
well.
be blamed, and I blamed him. And Hossein will tell you because I'm saying this is my third time in 4 days on the same channel. This is what I'm saying. If people didn't watch me the first 2 times, this is your third chance to understand. People are saying Staffy has nothing to say to Hamza. He's embarrassed. He's cooked. Hamza is repeating what I said, but because Hamza's a rival and he's saying it in a funny way, you're laughing at him. When I say it, I'm negative. I explain these issues. Sam here dunks on me and my team all the time, but he'll sit here and tell you, Staffy from the beginning, even Lewis. I met Lewis for the first time on a stream when we were talking about Mount. Even Lewis, who barely knows anything about me, will tell you, Staffy, the first time he spoke, his first words was, I don't want Mount. That's the one thing he'll
But
remember.
then I just give you that. But once again, the problem is Ten Hag wanted him. That's the problem.
100%, 100%.
خلاص,
So
then we
right
agree
now,
then.
no, I agree with you. So the issue right now is Ten Hag with his selections. The selection that he's making for this team is not good enough. Some of these players are not good enough. And some of them are actually good enough, but not collectively. That front line does not work. Rashford in the 9 does not work. Garnacho, I am sorry if this is going to offend anyone. Garnacho is not that superstar that you guys think he will be. I understand he loves Ronaldo. He likes all his posts. You know, he did the Sui and all that. He will never lace Ronaldo's boots because his skill set as a player is not even close to being complete. He's not rounded whatsoever. This guy has one skill set, which is running at defenders, and then he doesn't know what to do. Okay? So when I said we need more players on this team that when we reach the final third can hold the ball and do something with it, I was not wrong. When I said play Sancho in the 9 so we could put Rashford on the left and that's his preferred position, if you had Rashford running at Pedro Porro like he did last game, like Garnacho had last game, Rashford scores a goal. Because I'll tell you something, Egal seen it firsthand last season when he ran at Partey and passed him. He could score from outside the box. He could score from inside the box, but he needs to run at goal. He can't be in the box. That's not his attribute. So the manager is getting it wrong. Why is he getting it wrong? That's debatable. You can argue that I am blaming on 100% for signing Mount. And by the way, I'm not blaming Mount for last game. She didn't play a bad last game. People told me why you. This is the funniest thing, Sam. Listen to this. When everyone has seen my video from the football terrace that I'm talking about Casemiro, right? I've seen people in the comments saying this guy doesn't understand ball. Why is he blaming Casemiro and not blaming Mount? I was the first person to say don't sign Mount. Is going to make this defense unstable. The midfield unstable, and then someone's going to get sacrificed. And I've said it in preseason, bro. And people told me, shut up, you're overreacting. It's preseason. Now, after the second game of the season, they're saying that the midfield is imbalanced when I was saying it a month ago. Now I'm on to the next thing. What is the next thing? That Casemiro is now an issue because Mount played deeper last game. I have evidence. When I speak, by the way, I told them I'm ahead of the curve and I back everything with evidence and facts, and it's not my opinion. They tried to laugh at me. And everything I say, if I speak, just trust me, it's going to be proven right. When I said Mount wasn't the issue last game, Mount in certain positions, his average position in the game was deeper than Bruno. Bruno's supposed to be the deeper midfielder, by the way. He was deeper than Bruno. He was closer to Casemiro than the Wolves game, which means off the ball, he was playing as a second pivot. I told him it's Casemiro's issue last game. And they're like, why would you say that? Casemiro had 4 of 9 ground duels won. He got dribbled past 5 times. Okay? That is your defensive midfielder. Our whole midfield, there was if you go check my Twitter, I posted a tweet yesterday of Sky Sports. Our 3 midfielders, Mount, Casemiro, and Bruno, are the number 1, 2, and 3 in the league of midfielders that got dribbled past them. So our whole midfield has been dribbled through the most between everyone. And people are saying, and people are telling me now, oh, well, Mount needs to be closer. It doesn't matter where Mount is. If Casemiro is getting turned over by Bissouma, who's running at him 1-on-1, it has nothing to do with who's around you. Because Casemiro, at the end of the day, the one thing we always praised him for is he is the best defensive midfielder in terms of breaking up the play. If you run at him 1-on-1, he can win the ball. Everyone said that. So when you get beat 5 times out of 9, that's more than 50%, then I have to sit here and judge, why do you look so sluggish? Why do you look off the pace? The point of him not even being able to pass that everyone's hanging on to right now, you should have listened to me in July. Because in July, I was saying that. In July, I was sitting there and I was telling him our best midfield is with Kobe Mainoo, an 18-year-old in it, playing behind Bruno and Mount. Because Egal would tell you, he watched that game when we beat them 2-0. That was the best game we've had combined between preseason and this season. And people laughed at me. And they said, this American doesn't know what he's talking about. That's the one thing they say, Hamza. They don't know how to argue football with me, so they come at my accent. They're like, this American, this American. So now you're repeating what I said a month ago. And now I'm telling them that Casemiro is becoming a major issue because he can't even defend one. So not only can he not pass, he's looking sluggish when it comes to defending. And now people were saying, oh, well, we need to take him out of the line then and put someone closer to him. I said that before we signed him. You are repeating everything that I have said, everything that I have been made fun of on this channel and other channels. And Hassan was here when I was being made fun of that. And I was saying, if we sign Mount, he can't be our main starter every game. We can rotate him. We can bring him on in certain games. But if he starts every game, that's an issue. Now people are saying, don't come at Casemiro. All we need to do is bench Mount. I promise you, if we bench Mount, Casemiro will look better. I agree with that. But then I told you that before. So are you going to judge me for my Casemiro take? Or are you going to judge me for my Mount take? Because either way, I'm a winner on one of them.
Just before you go, I don't think people actually listen to Staffy when he says these things because you're repeating the same things.
Look at this idiot in the chat, and I don't even want to call out his name. You know who I'm talking about. This guy is waffling. You don't even listen, bro.
Let them be, bro. First things first. The manager, where's the accountability? You just lost a game. As a manager, you have to be accountable. You have to say, I could have done better. I could have done this. He first went to excuses right away. So I'm looking at the manager for that. Number one. Number two, about Ten Hag. And Postecoglou, credit to him. Second game in the Premier League. Tottenham looked like a more organized, a more fit, and a better organized defense and attack. And they actually look like they know what they're doing. Where Manchester United, they look like the same Manchester United from the beginning of last season. It's been a whole year. And we still don't know what Manchester United are looking to do in their build-up play, how they're holding on to possession. Their midfield looks disjointed. And that midfield of Tottenham's never played together before that game. They've never played together. They have more unity. They have more, you know what I mean, in the Premier League. They've never played together. But they have more unity than that Manchester United midfield. And that Manchester United midfield was all over the place. I watched Match of the Day, and I watched the game live. And I seen the breakdown of how the midfield played. They were so disjointed, so far apart. You could walk through that whole midfield unguarded into the box, and that's what happened for the goal for Sarr. And I'm just looking at Manchester United.
I gotta know the problem is it's not whether Staffy said it or not. Staffy's defending himself. We agree with Staffy. Yeah, we're talking about the manager, bro. Carry on.
We can blame the manager. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, Staffy, you're going to get the brunt of it because you're here. But a lot of your Manchester United fans are the ones that are the problems also because they put themselves.
Speak on that, Egal. Because when people said we have improved from last season and we can compete, I said no. People said Mount. You know what they said, Egal? They said Mount is an upgrade on Eriksen.
Let me land, and then you can go.
Wait, what?
This is what I had the issue with.
I'll get to that also. I promise you, that was a thing.
They were a Mason Mount, Amrabat, Onana, and what was the other one that they said?
Maybe Gravenberch. There's a few.
Højlund. They were 4 signings away from competing for the league.
I thought you were talking about the midfield.
This close to competing for the league. You guys were in a false position last year. Unfortunately, your performances.
No. This is where you're wrong, Egal. Let
me land. Your performances were never that consistent to think that you're going to push on to go win the league. Also, the signings you've made this transfer window just shows Ten Hag's talent ID. I question it. Or if he's being held back, he should maybe be saying, you know what, I need. Obviously, I'm not saying go yell at your employer. I'm just merely saying just tell the truth. If the team's not good enough and you don't think it's good enough, other managers have said it before. Say you need more. But I don't think his talent ID is that good. Number one. Number two. He's held accountable for the play that you guys have and how poor the midfield is. And now I'm going to shift my gears to Casemiro. Casemiro is being led to do a job that he's unable to do because he's being left by himself to do all the defensive work. He has no assistance. The shape of the midfield is so poor. And this all comes back down to the manager. The player himself, Casemiro, we always knew he was an aging center mid, defensive center mid. And you know what? He played amazing for them last year. But how long can he be their scapegoat? How long can he be the guy who saves them in every situation? They always needed Amrabat before Mason Mount. And I know you spoke about this, Staffy, but your fans are the ones who were sitting here saying, oh, Egal, how close are we to Arsenal? I always said, when you speak about getting close to us, I need to see you guys consistently do good performances. Your defense was good last year. Your defense might not have been the problem. Your attack was the problem last year. This year, your midfield is the problem. And it's because of the mistakes that Ten Hag made in the signing of Mason Mount And guess what? You're gonna make the joke about Havertz with me. That's dead banter, because we can clearly see, even with Havertz in our midfield, we have more control of midfield. We have more control of the game.
Egal, you were always in a better situation to take a risk on someone like Havertz, than us doing that with Mount. Because I never thought, listen, if City signs someone questionable right now, you're gonna look at them. You're like, you know what? They have a very good team. They want a treble. They might take a risk on someone. It's fine. They'll get away with it even if it doesn't work. We were never in that situation. Okay, Ten Hag's mistake, in my opinion, is that last season and this season are two different things. I need people to understand that. The way we played last season was different than we played this season, and the way we played away.
You look like you play under Oli still. That's the sad part.
No. This is not true, and I'll tell you why.
There you are. You see, you get upset when the reality.
It's not upset, Habibi. It's not upset. If Oli ball was 11 players behind the ball, the reason we're being exposed right now is that we're pushing high up the pitch. The minute they beat that high press, our defense and Casemiro is exposed. So you can't play Oli ball if you're trying to high press. That's the difference. So when I'm trying to tell you guys that we're not playing just counter-attacking football, it's because we actually are positioned very high up the pitch. We're just not good at we're not that good at executing the high press yet. We actually had the most turnovers forced on anyone's in someone's final third in the whole league so far. So it means we win the ball high up the pitch, we don't score, or we lose the ball, and then we get countered, and then we get scored against. So you see the issue here.
Guys, Hussam, can you get that super chat up, please? Because I see this every single day. That super chat, the most recent one. I need to address this immediately. So what? Because we're in a better situation going forward than you guys. You can win your Carabao Cup. You can win your domestic trophy. I'm not going to take that away from you. Congratulations, you guys won that. But we're in a new season, and you can clearly see who has the bedrock to push on and do better things, and you guys don't. So why you keep clutching at straws? It doesn't make sense. Let's be logical here. I don't want dead banter 24/7. We can sit here and say, "Oh, you won the Carabao Cup. Good job." If we're fighting for the Premier League again this season, we're in the Champions League, doing well there, and potentially could win a domestic trophy. What would you rather?
Could have just ignored the Egal, because I agree with you, and I always tell you that you're ahead of us in your progress.
Let Hamza go, because I know he wanted to say something.
Listen, you see, the problem is Staffy is making an excuse. Oh, no.
Yeah, Allah. How's the excuse?
No,
Hamza? See,
let him speak.
I can never talk ball with you, Hamza, because I sit here and I explain the issues, and you're saying excuses.
You said it's partly the plan.
This Hamza, don't talk great.
The thing is, I put this manager under scrutiny because it's his second season, Hussam. It's his second season. You must know this. You must know this. You're working apparently in the biggest club in the world. You must know you've been backed. It's no more Glazers' issue. It's no. So every time they lose, it's Glazers. Not you, Staffy. Your fan base generally. It's Glazers out. Yeah? It's Glazers' problems. It's not anyone's problem. This issue you've been found out. Because Postecoglou has had only... How long has he had with this team? How long has he had this team?
Postecoglou doesn't have his players, and he's only had 2 games.
He lost his main player. He had to get this Papesan or this Bissouma. It's like me being given, listen, dry onions, whatever it is, and I'm being told, make lasagna. Yeah? And I've been told, half an hour, make lasagna. Let's do it quickly. He's done an incredible job. He's done an incredible job to a manager who's worked for a year and a half, who apparently achieved so much, and his second game is struggling. And also comparison, forget Postecoglou. Postecoglou came from a different league. He needs time to adapt. He's already outplayed him in this game, dunked on him, and they say, oh, our players should have taken our chances. Oh, they don't look at the fact that Tottenham have not spent money. Tottenham have not. If you guys play victim mentality.
Which is why I'm telling you, Hamza, sometimes it's not about the money. This is a team that hasn't spent. And they haven't spent money, and they're playing better than Chelsea, who spent money. But then you attack them for the money, and then you're praising them for the money.
You don't try and change the narrative to Chelsea.
Because you're not staying consistent, Hamza. I love you, but you're not consistent.
No, I'm just saying, listen, you spend that much money, and then De Zerbi lost his 2 midfielders. He's already working with magic and showing how to play football. He's telling me this is an incredible manager. So I'm looking at your manager who talks a lot. He's the guy that says, his first press conference said, errors come to an end. We know that word from Ten Hag. He's the one.
Hamza, you don't rate him, Hamza. What do you want me to say? I'm not going to say Ten Hag out because he had one bad game.
I want to ask you a question. Do you believe your manager, is he better than De Zerbi? Generally. Forget agendas.
De Zerbi is definitely playing a better style of play right now.
Who's a better manager, De Zerbi or Ten Hag?
That's a great question. I'll still stick by Ten Hag because I've seen Ten Hag turn the season around last season.
Oh my god!
There you
Listen,
are.
I've seen him. Listen, we'll see the Zerbi this year when he goes to Europe and he plays big European teams. I've seen Ten Hag through his De Zerbi phase where he played with the Ajax team and he went to Bernabeu and he scored 4 goals.
Yo, FC Sharif beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. FC Sharif beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, that's the same year they won the
One
Champions
season
League.
doesn't mean anything.
So
This is
are
the
you
same
really gonna
manager-
discredit?
this
You're
is
really
the
gonna
same
discredit?
manager- one second. This is the same manager that got dunked up by Lucas Moura. Why do you hide that fact? Tottenham,
I didn't
were
hide
the
it.
biggest bottle
You
job.
mentioned the negative.
Dunked
I
him
mentioned the positive. You're looking at the empty side of the
No,
the
but
cup.
I'm saying
looking at the
FC
full side.
Sharif. FC Sharif.
Ten
beat
Hag
them.
really has a bad time against Spurs, doesn't he?
Hamza, no, we beat them. We played our best game last season against Spurs.
There
That
you
was
are.
our best
There
game
you
all
are.
season.
There you
But
are. Why
anyways,
talk about last season?
Because you said he always struggles against Spurs.
You talk about last
Oh, you
season?
meant in Ajax. You mentioned
Yeah,
Ajax.
yeah.
I
We're
kind
talking
of
about
lost
last
you for a
season.
second. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter,
last
bro.
season you lost 7-0, so it's different. Last season, biggest
Oh,
loss
we
all
lost.
year.
We lost to Spurs 7-0. See, this is where the agenda start, and I'm.
There
You're
you
not
are.
gonna. You're
There
not gonna
you
have
are.
me bite, bro. All I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna say my manager's out. I'm disappointed in him. I don't like what he's doing. I think he could do better. I think there's solutions in this team still. I know he can play better with some of the players that we have, but he's gonna have to stop being too stubborn. And when players play bad, there needs to be a little bit more accountability. We can't have a horrible game against Wolves and then play the same team against Spurs. And because they play a different style, we thought we'll do better. Yes, we did better in the first half, but yet again, these players let him down. We got this the physical stats of the game, by the way, in terms
But
of
the
sprints,
Postecoglou
jogs.
thing, though, is
Listen,
true. The Postecoglou style, you can tell within 2 games.
Just,
That's the
Yes,
thing.
two games, you can
just
see
let
the
me
style.
finish. Just let me finish because I'm giving him slander right now, so people don't accuse me of being biased towards
Go
Ten
on.
Hag.
Go on.
Our last game, we got outrun by Spurs in every stat. They had more jogs, they covered more of the ground, they did everything more than us. So on the physical part of the game, we were actually behind them. Now, is that the manager's fault? I really don't think so. But it's the manager's fault for not benching some of these players. If I am Pelistri, if I am Sancho, if I am Eriksson, and I'm looking at some of these players who played horribly, and I'm training well, and I'm playing well, and I'm doing all this, and I'm trying to get some minutes on the pitch. Sancho came on and looked good. Pelistri came on and looked good. Eriksson came on the first game and looked good. And then you get benched the next game again, and there's no accountability. Then I'm questioning why is the manager not holding these players accountable for their mistakes or for their bad performances. So for certain things like this, I will judge Ten Hag. However, Ten Hag still doesn't have his striker. He still hasn't got his DM. Yes, I criticize him for the Mount signing, but I blame him for some things, and I will give him a break for some things. And it's up to him to
But
turn
you
the season
credit him
around.
for
Because,
Casemiro, though. You credit him.
Ya akhi, isma, ya akhi, listen.
But
Last
how can
season,
you
we
credit
started-
him and say he doesn't have a DM? That's mad.
What do you mean?
But Staffy, no manager on earth gets every player they want.
You don't get.
I didn't say that, but we just sold Fred because he needs a better profile than Fred, and we haven't replaced Fred. They're trying to sell
Mount?
Donny van de Beek. No, that Mount is, come on, bro. We know he's not supposed to play in day, and I already blamed them for that.
There
I'm
you are.
saying-
Here we go again.
Stop.
See, but this is
No,
why.
stop
But this,
saying
you
we know.
You know what?
We
you know what
do
the
know.
issue is. You know what the issue is. You want me to be.
That's the problem.
Habibi, listen.
Not me and
You
you.
want. Habibi, listen. The issue is you guys want me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lost Caicedo and thing and got he's playing with Gross and Billy Gilmore. And
yes, but these guys
And
have
he
been
beat
in the
Wolves 4-1.
team, Hamza.
Look at
Hamza,
the
these
shameful
listen,
stuff.
Hamza. These guys have been in the team,
This
and
is a
I'm not
joke.
discrediting anything De
Billy
Zerbi
Gilmore.
does.
Billy-
But
Billy Gilmore.
Hamza, I will not say Ten Hag out on the second game. I've seen Ten Hag start the season last season with 2 losses, and he turned it around. I'll tell you something. Egal personally has seen his manager for the first 3 years. Every time they lost, and they did much worse than Ten Hag did, and everyone said Arteta out, Arteta out, Arteta out. If that happened, they would have never lived to that day where they just saw the team. Yes, okay, they didn't win the league last season, but they saw. But they see. Listen, it took them 3 years to see an identity. It took him 3 years to see them competing. It took him 3 years to see an image that's close to the final image of the team that Arteta wanted. So if Arsenal, list what you're gonna mention, what how much he spent in the beginning, you're probably gonna.
No, I'm merely just gonna say, when Mikel Arteta came in, he played a different style. The moment he did transition, it took a while, but the moment he had his players and his signings, you seen we're in a title race. So it's unfair to compare Ten Hag.
I'm just saying it took him a while.
Also, it's also unfair to compare Ten Hag and Arteta. When Ten Hag signed, it was disrespectful to compare Arteta to Ten Hag, apparently, because he has more experience and he won numerous titles in Ajax. So which one?
The job is always
Staffy,
bigger.
Staffy, we cannot now do comparisons to Mikel Arteta, who at the time was his first job in management, in comparison.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but
Ten
that's not what
Hag
I'm
is
saying.
about 16 years old. This isn't his first thing. And let me just say that this whole thing. We need to stop absolving Ten Hag of any blame. Because when you say United,
you're not Huddersfield after all
I
the
am
things
talking
I'm
to
not
Tad.
blaming
I'm talking to Tad. Relax.
Oh, okay.
Superstar. You need to understand, Ten Hag is part of said circus. Because once again, who said I want Mason Mount? Ten Hag. Who said I want Anthony? Ten Hag. Who said I want Malacia? Ten Hag. So you need to understand, right now, as things stand right now today, Staffy and 80% of the United fans would say we probably need an extra midfielder or we need a striker or etc. You know what you just signed? Backup goalkeeper. If it's such a priority and an emergency in Ten Hag's head, you'd have dealt with that before you did with a backup goalkeeper situation. Why are you signing a backup? One second, Habib. Why are you signing a backup goalkeeper from Turkish league and acting like, oh my God, midfield is a priority, DM is a priority, forward line is a priority? Okay, once again, the problem is your manager doesn't see it that way. Not you, your manager. That's the issue.
Halas, do you want me to say Ten Hag out? Because if this is what we're sitting
I never said
about,
that.
I will never be close to that.
Never said that. I'm
if
responding
you want me to
Tad.
blame him, I blamed him. I blamed him for the
I
things
said I'm
that I think he should
Tad.
be blamed.
I'm just saying,
I blamed him for the things that I think he deserves to be blamed for.
By the way,
I'm not going to overreact.
I think Staffy's definitely getting gaslit. But guess what, bro? This is what happens. I had to deal with people telling me Graham Potter, Dean Smith, friggin' what's it called? What's the guy who used to be for Stoke?
Pulis, I forgot his name.
Pulis, whatever his name is.
Pulis, I forgot his name.
You know what I'm talking about.
All
these players are being compared to Mikel Arteta. So Ten Hag is gonna get that stick. But my issue with Ten Hag is the lack of play, the performances away from home, and Roy Keane might be right. You guys are now the new Spurs based on how teams play you away from home. They find it extremely easy to play you guys. At home, you're a different team, but away from home, you guys are a knife through butter. That's the reality.
All right.
Okay.
I just want us all to remember this reaction because I will have my day. So when I have my day, I just want you to remember this channel.
I felt like
so when you shoot, listen, I'm just gonna say something. So when you shoot, make sure you hit me. Because if you miss and I'm still alive, listen, if I'm still breathing, because this is the least shameless I've ever been. But everyone knows I'm one shameless motherfucker. And I will be coming at Hamza. Wallahi, Hamza, you will see you're there.
I got trouble. Why you can't come?
You need a theme song? You need a theme song? That might be Miniman. Let's go.
You can't play that. You can't. I thought you was gonna play it and get myself canceled. I was like, oh god damn.
So speaking of switching gears.
You're on mute.
You muted yourself. And probably it's for the better.
Yeah, we are on Man City.
Did you just say probably for the better when I want to switch away from Man United? You know I could still pressure you on this topic, right? Don't disrespect me like that. I'm not sweet like that. When it comes to
points on Manchester United,
you want to say something, Lewis, on Man United?
Yeah, I'll just 1 point. I'll keep it short and sweet. Just again, thank you.
I knew this. I hate this guy.
That's all I really have. Other than that,
what did I tell you in the Chelsea section when you were ucking Chelsea? What did I tell you?
I mean, he stayed, but you know what it is? It all started with this guy here. If this guy didn't give me Mount, I wouldn't have this headache. So the root of the issue,
have this headache.
The root of the issue is Lewis. And by the way, on Mount, because I actually don't think he played last game bad, even though I don't want him in the starting lineup. But he actually did what he was meant to do last game. I think very, very soon. The fans won't have the same patience for him that they had in Chelsea. I don't know how Lewis was when it came to Mount, if he defended him a lot or not. But that whole he's one of our own, proper Chelsea, all that stuff. We're not gonna have the same energy for him, So I actually fear for this guy. I actually fear for him if this continues because he has no alliances and no allegiance to Manchester or the club or the city or anything. So
that's why there's no common bias this time.
It might get very ugly. That's what I'm trying to say. So
okay,
I will be there just for the vindication. I will be there.
Speaking of vindication, I'm actually quite curious to why Egal wants to cook City, apparently. But before we do that, 981 people here. Make sure you're all slapping the like button. Make sure you're all subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. 1,000 people, man. Big up to you guys.
Wait, how
This
many likes
show
are we on?
is rocking because of you guys' support. Big up to Shino's Miz, who says, I got a hot take. Next season, Hamza won't be shameless. That is not just a hot take. That's a take from hell itself because it ain't going to happen, my brother. It's not, or I don't know if it's a, I think that's a she. It's not going to happen, my sister. Yeah, so I apologize to you. Hamza will forever be shameless. Will Mount and Havertz reach 007 together? We're waiting on Havertz in the Premier League before we can run that, to be fair. Big up to you, Waves. Chelsea proved Man City not just money. 1 billion equal total poop, says Mike Das. Mike, that's why you should never chase the bag. Moises should have made the right decision. Big up to you, Mike. Big up to here to there. United best activity of the window equal Mount injury. Damn. Oh, Lord. Listen, I ain't going to sit up here and say, I'm going to say thank you for the super chat and I'm going to keep it stepping. Breaking news. Arteta to undergo back surgery in the next few days. He will miss the next 2 games. His expected return is after the international break. Is this true?
He's trying to take the piss out of Arteta copying Pep with everything he does.
Because Pep has to do surgery.
It's actually a really good super chat.
Did you guys see how Arteta drank his water the other day? He was copying Pep, apparently.
So the
they were saying he copied Pep in the press conference. Yeah, when he said he's happy or whatever, he was like, I couldn't be happier.
So Pep
is finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
Why can't Pep copy Arteta? Why can't Arteta copy Pep and win a league title? That's what I want to know.
He will this year.
This super chat in retrospect is actually mad. This is mad. This is actually mad. Like I just clocked, this guy's on a piss take. Like, you know, Waves. This
super chat.
That's a great super chat. Big up to you. Hamza, watch the first 30 minutes. Clear style of play. The amount of attacks we created with 5 passes or less. Transition ball was immense and effective.
You can't sustain that for 90 minutes, and that's the issue. And this is why we got outrun by the Spurs team. The minute we left too much gaps, you can't press high for the whole 90 minutes, right? So this is what I'm saying. When you have to take your chances early, so in the second half you can be a little bit more composed. I wasn't wrong. So unfortunately, it's not going to work.
Josue, I think the issue is as Staffy said, and Hamza I think would agree. The issue is sustainability. Big up to Siddharth who says Chelsea conceded 4 more goals in our worst season than Arsenal and their best season in a decade, but our defense is a concern. Egal, try making sense for once. Damn.
Never listen to this argument again. No, never listen to that shit.
I generally can't wait for the City section. I honestly can't.
12. This is great.
I can't wait for the City section. I'm actually curious to what Egal wants to say, so it is what it is. Big up to that Bakes who says thank you for the super chat as well. It says the same thing with every manager at United, barring Moyes. First year we overachieve, second year we level out. Club is a circus with no ambition. Winning mentality comes from the top. United fan Tad, I know you're a United fan, and I know that the biggest problem is the Glazers, just like at my football club, who the biggest problem is. However, Ten Hag is contributing by the player selection. That's why he needs a director of football who can help guide him to the correct talent, because he's clearly not making the right decisions. Big up to Josue who says, let me kill this talent ID myth too. There you are. There you are. There you are. It's not 7 out of 8. Malacia is unsuccessful. Weghorst's unsuccessful. Mount is unsuccessful.
Don't count. Come on, don't be that though. I agree with you, but don't include Weghorst.
But he said 8. Who are the 8? Name them. Yalla. Go on.
So last season we signed Malacia and Anthony.
Fail.
Casemiro.
Good.
I thought you said Martinez is failed. You got me shocked there. And this season we signed Mount, Unana, and Mount failed already. Good. Okay, Mount, Unana, and Højlund, who hasn't played yet. So that's 7. I don't know where he got 8 from.
That's what I'm telling you. He's including Weghorst, ya habibi, شايف?
He could have included Sabitzer. I don't know why he included that.
It is. Listen, if you can't admit, I'm a sport. Let me explain something to you, Josue. Sometimes it's good to actually have balance in life. I'm a Liverpool fan. Klopp won me everything there is to win, and I'll tell you right now, I'll look into this camera right here and say Klopp has shit talent ID. No problem with that whatsoever. No manager's perfect. Full stop. Finishing second is not a trophy, bottler mentality. And then he comes back and he says, becoming City's new gal is not an achievement, says Waves there. Yeah, it is not an achievement.
Something? Guess what?
Oh my God. If I had a penny for every time you say that, Egal, I would be so rich right now. Oh my God.
First of all, I'm just gonna say this to you.
He says the same words.
Everything in life.
طب Egal, can you talk about this in the City Arsenal section? بس خليني just let me please, because I know you want to talk about.
I think that was.
I am so curious. I genuinely want to give you the mic before Hamza even, because I'm so curious now.
Okay.
Arteta also challenged when he hit 250 million spent, says Highbury Ultra. He did challenge. He did, and we have to give him
I'm
credit
not
for that.
comparing the money.
10 games into the 21-22, Arsenal were bottom 6, and everyone called for Arteta's head. Look at the Arsenal fans now. Stop the shameless BS. Everyone's a hypocrite. Look, if some people backed Arteta, some people stuck by him, some people turned on him, and that's okay. And I think Egal and everyone would like Arteta to prove them wrong, or or in the case of support, prove them right, and win everything there is to win. That's just the reality. Big up to you, Mike. Thanks so much for the super chat. Since Arteta got his players, he's never won again. We'll see this year. This year is the be all and end all, Mr. Waves. Go your bed, Hussam, do as you're told. How are you saying me go to my bed? And who told me to go to my bed as well? Because I don't know who the hell told me.
It's probably one of those accounts that says Hussam's wife and Staffy's wife, because they were saying that. Yeah,
like
there was Lewis's wife, and one of them said, "Staffy, can you cook my husband for me?"
Big up to Nadra, who says Mount just wants the paycheck. No, I don't think it's a paycheck move, but I just don't think he fits there, and I think that's a valid opinion. Arteta fully copies Pep, but just like every Chinese version, it always breaks in the end.
You want to know something? Success is always copied in every sport. That's a reality. It's not just. So if you're gonna make a joke here, it is. It's a copycat league. Have you never heard that term?
No, I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing at his example he gave at the end of the super chat there. Big up to him.
Plagiarism.
Big up to the KG who sends in a super sticker. تحياتنا لأم الدنيا أهل مصر هلا والله حبيبي. Big up to Joe who says FSG have made a cluster F of 7 windows. Even with Edwards, Warshmatka controlled by Hogan, nothing changed, only worse. Now Amrabat, Andre, off what's going on. Joe, I know you watched my show with Tom Little earlier on, and inshallah I have a Liverpool show coming tomorrow as well. But what did I say? If I bring you Jurgen Klopp himself, this A-listers, right? If I bring Jurgen Klopp as the 6th panelist, he won't tell you what we're going to do this summer, because no one knows, because we're all over the place. There is a severe lack of direction at this football club, and we're severely paying for it. It's just how it goes. Big up to Dad Bakes who sends in his super chat. He says we want to know something, Egal. Hey, we do want to know something.
Egal, I want someone next show. I'm gonna have someone in the comments just keep track of how many times you say it. We're gonna keep a count on you to see how many times per show you say it, because you always say that. You want to know something?
Okay.
I have a lot of catch.
You have a lot of
that's a good catchphrase right there. Anyway, look, before we just move on, we do want to know something. We want to talk about City and Arsenal next. Hamza, I want to hear what your thoughts are on what Egal says. What success, Egal? You won nothing, bro. I think he's already responded to that one right there, my guy. Waves, stick around. So, Hamza, I know you're supposed to start in the City section, but I'm sorry, I'm very curious. And I do agree with Elia. Egal, please tell us something. Why were you saying early on you want to cook City? For what? Can you explain, please?
Oh, you want me to go first? Amazing.
Yes, I want you to go first.
First of all, Hamza, when you win 1-0, it doesn't matter who it's against. It's not a smash and grab. It's what a great performance. Phil Foden, world class. You're about to sign this Doku guy who, when Liverpool were potentially signing him, you're like, it's embarrassing. Liverpool trying to replace Mane with Doku, but then you're signing him. He's world class. He's better than Saka. And also, Staffy, everyone here, how many times on streams have I told you guys, Mahrez has left, Gundogan has left. Now Kevin De Bruyne's injury has happened. They tend to start the season off poorly. And now that their manager is also going to be taking time off for surgery, Hamza sits here and reiterates my own reasons why Arsenal potentially could win the league as the reason why we should win the league, and we're now favorites, and he's the underdog apparently. The hypocrisy, bro, this is hilarious. So now you're telling me treble winning Manchester City, because of some little couple things, are now not the favorites, and you're sitting here telling everyone that we have to win the league when you know, in actual fact, you were sitting here saying, I'm scared of Liverpool. I'm scared of Manchester United. You know what? I'm scared of Chelsea. Well, it seems like you're now scared of Arsenal, buddy, and you're just trying to hide it, and you're getting all your excuses ready on the table for everyone to see and show your ass before anything happens. And hey, I'm just sitting back laughing because I remember a couple weeks ago when I told you Gundogan left, you say, "Oh, we'll replace him." Kovacic has signed. When Riyad Mahrez left, you're like, "Oh, it's okay. We're gonna get another signing. We're gonna get another signing." You're gonna probably get that other signing, no question about it. Kevin De Bruyne got injured. We won the league before without Kevin De Bruyne. It's fine. But now you're putting it in excuse. And to top it all off, you don't need Pep Guardiola there to beat certain teams. I don't know who your next opponent is. You're probably going to beat them 3-0 without Pep. But all of a sudden, Pep is going out for surgery for a couple of months, and you're like, we don't have a manager. Oh my God, it's Arsenal. You better win the league or you have blood on your hands. The hypocrisy is hilarious. Because when I said this, you were sitting there saying, this guy's tooey, deluded. Get out of here, bro.
The problem is, listen,
Hamza,
Egal.
before you respond, because this perfect moment, Ilya says, in reality, let me tell you something, Egal. It's your opinion. Ilya, I fucking love you, bro. I actually genuinely love you. Ilya, thank you so much for the super chat, Habibi. Go ahead, تفضل, my brother.
Let me just reply to this. The thing is, the way he's talking is as if they just never learn. They just never learn. That's a problem. They've never learned, like, in terms of when he talks about this, he's talking about this year again. For the same way they've been chatting for 20 years, they're talking again the same way. Listen, let's go back to Newcastle. Newcastle is a bigger club and better team than Crystal Palace. Write it down. Yeah? Let me let you know. Crystal Palace are weak. You should be ashamed of yourself, the way that you're bragging about 1-0 on Crystal Palace without Wilfred Zaha. They lost Wilfred Zaha, their best players in the last 5 years. You should be ashamed.
Hamza,
they lost Michael. Listen, one second. Once I didn't interrupt. One second.
No, I have to answer.
They were out without Michael Olise. One second. They don't spend money. Yeah, Roy Hodgson doesn't get money to spend. Your other fraud, spent 700 million in 4 years. You expected to beat them comfortably. You can't be shameless and come in on a stream or Rasan's stream, talk about, oh, you don't give us credit for being Crystal Palace. Oh, I'm an Arsenal. That's the problem. You play victim. You want to be congratulated. Oh, well done. Fantastic win. Brilliant win. 1-0 against Crystal Palace. Bro, beating Newcastle is a different animal. When we beat Newcastle, we should have dunked on them. But guess what? Egal. They had a midfield of Bruno Gomares. Yeah. What's the name? Sandro Tonali is a very good midfielder. Joe Linton, they got Isaac up front. Who do they have? Edward. Jeffrey Schlupp. You talk about this team. Yeah. Jordan Ayew still playing football. This guy was playing football when Suarez handballed the goal in South Africa. Still playing ball till now. Yeah. They're nobody, Crystal Palace. They even tell you, the fan base told me, we're weak. We're very weak. We need to spend money. So for you to come and compare, Newcastle's a tough team. Newcastle will beat you now. If you had played like that against Newcastle, they'll beat you.
Did you forget this, Hamza?
Yeah?
You won 1-0 at Palace with a penalty also.
No, but they had Olise. They had Zaha. They're dangerous. They're very dangerous. If they had Wilfred Zaha and Olise, they're beating them, man. These guys, and they had 100 million spent. They had 100 million Declan Rice. They had 100 million Declan Rice. They had all these players, Havertz for 65 million. My God, poor Crystal Palace. You scraped a 1-0 win. Yeah? You scraped a 1-0 win. And listen, congratulations. Congratulations for that. You saw my team and you saw my bench. My bench was full of youngsters. Yeah. If you look at my bench, it was full of young kids who are preparing for high school musicals. They're 16-year-old, 17-year-old, bloody Cole Palmer, Nico Lewis, thing. But I never panic. Listen, look at my confidence. I don't panic.
Did you say High School Musical? No, you need to go.
Young kids.
Hamza, before you
one second. I don't, Sam. What I'm saying, I'm not saying Arsenal win the league. I'm saying after we've lost our captain Gundogan, We've lost Mahrez. We've lost KDB, the best player in the Premier League. We've lost our best player, the best player in Premier. Imagine Arsenal lost Saka. Imagine they lost Odegaard. Imagine, and they lost who's that? And they lost there's a party, and they lost those 3 players. I'll come with chest. I'll say here 100%. I'm dunking. I'm winning the league by January. Fact. I'll tell you straight up. Sam, I don't have the bench looks weak.
What are you talking about?
I am saying.
When I told you this, you didn't care. You spat at me. You literally spat on the screen. You said, "Do it." That's what you did.
Go. If you don't win the league in this way, that we don't have Gundogan, Mahrez, KDB, and even Pep was not in the touchline for a few games, yeah? Arteta's got blood in his hands.
All right, can I knock some sense into this?
Anymore. I don't want victim mentality because you played victim last year.
No one cares. No one cares.
Can I knock some sense into this? Because you guys can keep going, bro.
Staffy, they do this all the time.
No one cares. When Kevin De Bruyne got injured, you wanted to cry me a river. When Gundogan left, I told you didn't want to hear it. When Mahrez left, you didn't want to hear it. Now that Pep Guardiola is injured, all of a sudden, Pep Guardiola being injured affects affects everything and change your whole mindset. And now Arsenal favorites. No one is buying this Man City or underdogs thing that you're trying to spit. That's just a lie. Stop trying to do this.
We don't.
Egal, so do you still think they're favorites, Egal? Is that what you're saying?
Bro, this whole thing is Hamza trying to have his cake and wanting to eat it too.
No, but I know how Hamza is, but I'm asking you a genuine question right now.
I don't understand this foolishness. I'm playing victim mentality of Arsenal.
Just let me ask you.
Victim. It's you. You're the one playing the victim.
Are you favorites for
You're
this
the
league?
one. One second. You're the one playing the victim. Oh my God, Kevin De Bruyne is injured. Oh my God, my manager is getting a surgery. Oh my God, we lost Riyad Mahrez. Oh my God. This is you.
No, but he's injured. What can I do? I've lost Gundogan. I've lost Mahrez. I can't bring them back.
You're the victim. You're the victim. Get some help.
Yes.
Get some help.
Listen, but I've lost my players. I'm saying
sign some players.
No one said. If you don't win the league with this squad, do you believe Arteta should be called out?
Guess what? I don't care. Stop being the victim.
No, I asked you a question.
Right? I'm telling you, stop being the victim. Man up. You just want to treble. Man up.
Egal. I asked you a question. If Arteta does not win the league with the way we've got our 3 best players in the league, we've lost them all. Do you believe you should call Arteta now? You should say,
guess what?
Guess what?
If you just want to treble, one second. If you just want to treble and you lose the league to us, you better hide. You better hide your kids, hide your wives, hide everything. You're finished. You're done. Hussam, this is the time you play it. You're finished. We've seen the evidence. It's done. Hamza, if you lose the league to this Arsenal team,
You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. You're finished. Wallahi, you're finished. Wallahi, you're finished.
I'm telling you, Hamza, I don't want to hear it.
Listen,
Hamza, you're the one playing the victim here. You're the one trying to spin it. You're the one chatting about Arsenal have to win. Guess what? I don't hide. I think we're gonna win. I've already put it on the table.
Think or you will win. Do you think or you will win?
Guess what? It's the same thing, bro. Do I need to use a different adjective?
No, you can't say. You're confident.
Hamza, long story short,
I can win. Listen, Staffy.
Long story short, you're saying a lot of bullshit.
You see already, and then you say, "I thought we're gonna win." But you know what?
I'm done with Hamza. I'm done with Hamza's elephant on the tree. All this stuff. Is it Arsenal are favorites to win the league, and you believe you are now the underdog?
You have to win the league. There's blood on Arteta's hands. If you don't win the league, everyone's coming for you. I'm telling you now.
Hamza, one second. We are sick of your big agendas. One day you sign, you make 2 signings, and you're gonna then say you're the favorite again.
We've signed
We've seen the evidence. Continuously up every single day.
You're spending.
And also, you continuously say all your players are better than us. You have a world class Erling Haaland. You have Phil Foden, who's better than Saka. You have midfielders like Rodri, who's one of the best in the world. You have world class defenders like
I'm seeing a guy from Rennes.
And Arsenal.
To be fair, there are Arsenal fans who agree, Egal. If we don't win the league, blood is on Arteta.
Guess what? I don't disagree with that, but that's 2 different conversations. Stop talking about Arteta. Hamza, this is what he does. He diverts from the main argument and comes to another topic.
Yeah, Egal, but we know that, Egal. Listen, Egal, we know that. Listen, we know who Hamza is. So for you to sit here and be surprised that Hamza's acting like that, we know Hamza. We know we're gonna wake up and baby, calm down. He's gonna make fun of your win. Listen, Egal, I get what you're saying. I don't think your 1-0 win against Crystal Palace is not as bad as Hamza's making it out to seem. But to be fair, I do also think. Me?
He didn't even watch it. He was
Oh,
playing
yeah.
football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even if you watch the highlights, I don't care where he's coming from with his argument. It's not as bad as he's making out to seem. I do have some concerns about Arsenal, but yes, Hamza's overcooking it. I get what you're saying. But at the same time, to be fair, you guys should be in a better position now, in my opinion.
No, if you can't win
than
the
they-
league with this,
just because I
you're a
think
failure. You're a
I'm not saying
complete
that
failure.
they're weak, because I can never say that about Man City, but I think you have strengthened and they have weakened to the point that maybe you guys can overtake them this year. And to be
I've been
honest, if
saying
they
this
don't, Arteta will have questions. That's all I'm saying.
Bro, I've
Obviously,
been saying
context
There will
will
be
add.
questions. I'm telling you.
Staffy,
Egal, let me tell you.
this
The
is my
fact that
issue.
it's not
One
listen,
second,
Egal.
One
This
of
is
the
my
things,
issue.
wallah, I can't hear both.
I've been saying this for weeks. Hamza, I've been saying this to you. Staffy, I've been saying this to you. Lewis, I don't know if you've been on
You've been
streams.
consistent. I'll give you that, Egal.
I've
You've
been
been
always
consistent.
saying this. All of a sudden, Hamza has realized his team is not in the prime position that he thought it would be. And all of a sudden, he's now flipping the script and saying, you have to win. Guess what? I don't care what you think. We have to win
No,
regardless.
the world thinks. It's not me.
That's the
The
reality.
world thinks. The
But
world knows.
I don't
The
care
world
what the world
knows.
thinks.
The world
I want
knows.
to know what Hamza.
Listen, I'm telling you now.
I want to know what made you click, and are you gonna apologize? Are you gonna apologize to the people who you laughed at in the summer when we told you Gundogan was leaving, when we told you Riyad Mahrez was leaving, when we told you your team is not as strong, when we told you we strengthened our team? Because now you all of a sudden agree with us, but you're not going to acknowledge the fact that we said this to you in the summer, and you're now acknowledging it, but in a way that is completely disregarding everything we've told you previously.
So you think we're poor? So you think we're poor? The way you're saying, okay, do you think that then you're saying we're poor? We're
Bro,
poor.
did I not tell you this 2 months ago? Did I not tell you this 2 months ago?
I'll acknowledge what you guys are right. Yeah, that they. So do you acknowledge we're poor? Then we're weaker.
Of course you're weaker because you lost your captain.
So
You
one
lost
second.
Riyad Mahrez.
Are you strong? Are you stronger?
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying. The world. I'm telling you now. Listen, Arsenal fans. I'm warning you. The world have got you. They don't care about Real Madrid because they've won the league. Because you haven't won the league for that many years, the way you bottled it last year was the worst bottle job in history. The way it's been set up that Man City are now struggling to make signing. We're signing Staffy. I've just signed a 50 million player from Rennes.
To be honest, Hamza, I do rate him. He is one of the best one-on-one wingers.
No, one second. We've signed a player that needs to learn our play. That needs a young kid, a 21-year-old. But you've got complete squad. If you don't win the league this year, the way it's been set up, then people will call Arteta, not your fans. Listen, I'm telling you now, Egal, that Arsenal flag that you've got at the back, you will not wear that proudly around UK.
Hamza.
You'll be stopped and called a bottle job because they'll say last year you failed and this year you failed with Gundogan and KDB. So what excuses are you going to tell the fan base if you lose the league?
Hamza, there is no excuses, but you're making excuses. And all I want to know is, you said to me on this channel, Hussam, you were there. I'm scared of Liverpool. I don't think about Arsenal. Now it seems like to me, you're scared of Arsenal. And if you want to admit that to however many people are, if you want to admit that to however many people are watching, I'm done. My conversation's over. I don't need to say anything anymore.
Okay, Hamza, final question before we wrap up. Are you scared of Arsenal now? Yes or no?
No, I'm not scared of. Listen, the elephant in the tree we know, but I'm concerned about my team. I'm not concerned about a job, but the problem is my squad. Is it good enough? No, I'm not happy with my squad. I'm an underdog now. This year, I have to make up. And if I win the league, then I'm gonna come for that football club. I'll say, listen, this football club is the biggest bottle jobs in history. Again, we have to officially sign it off. We have to officially sign them off.
Hamza, yes or no?
Let him have the final word. Let him have the final word.
Yes or no? Are you scared of Arsenal?
I was scared. Why am I scared for a team that hasn't won the league for 20 years?
Okay, so
it's like no. It's like me saying.
So the answer is no. Okay, خلاص, perfect. We there you have it, folks.
And by the way, Man City are the boringest games. I don't like watching Man City games.
Is it you as an Arsenal fan?
The most boringest game.
The whole world prefers to watch Man City.
Everyone here, let's be honest. Have you guys done a watch along for Man City recently? Have you watched any of their games?
Yeah.
You guys are horrific. They're boring. They just score.
When you honest, as a neutral, are Man City boring?
Well, the Newcastle game was boring, but I found the Burnley game entertaining. I did enjoy that one, so I guess it just.
I think it's boring if you're an outsider, but if you're a City fan and you're
because we are playing. We're like
Yeah, yeah.
Barcelona.
You know what it is,
Give me
Hamza.
the
It's like
chance.
because it's
Listen,
like you're in a boxing ring and one guy is just effing
Yeah,
you up. Of course you're gonna
exactly.
hate it.
That's why it hurts them. So you know, Muhammad Ali. When Muhammad Ali is punching you, it looks boring. Can you punch Muhammad Ali? No, you can't. He's special.
Yo,
So
I
that's
love
why it's
Hamza,
kinda
man. I
boring.
just
There's
love
no-
Hamza.
He's not wrong.
Big
He
up,
gets
big
to
up.
watch. Hamza gets to
Hamza?
watch 70% position football, and I'm watching hot potato. So I'm not one to judge, to be honest. My players don't even
That's
keep
fair.
the ball.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna
That's
stay
fair.
quiet. I can't say
That's
nothing
fair.
about that.
Anyway, listen, guys. This has been, you know, this has been the Oppenheimer of YouTube right here, almost 2 hours. Before we wrap up, we want to thank you all. 1,000 people are still here. Make sure you're all liking. Make sure you're all subscribing. We're just gonna address the super chats before we wrap up. Love you all, man. Remember, every single one of you guys, these guys' channels is in the description. Make sure you're liking and subscribing now. Big up Red Chili says, don't go to bed, then be a naughty boy. Wow. Habibi, Egal football takes are like landing into Dubai airport and expecting camels as Ubers. That's a good super chat. That is a very good super chat. Big up to you, said that. Big up to my guy, the KG, who done the same super chat twice. حبيبي يا KG انت غلمناك معنا. انت لو صبرت علي شوي بس عشان ما كنتش I didn't want to interrupt in the middle of a Man City Arsenal debate to talk about Salah. But here's the thing. I saw the news, but I don't think Mo Salah is going to Saudi Arabia. We're
قول يا
good.
رب.
I think he ends up staying at Liverpool Football Club.
ان
I
شاء
don't
الله
think he leaves.
هيمشي يا كي جي، ولو بتشجع ليفربول ان شاء الله هتقعد تعيط بدل الدموع دم.
God willing.
Shukran KG for the super chat. Bozo, this Haiwan right here. Don't even want you near my vicinity. Thank you so much for the super chat. Big up to all the Egyptians who watch the channel as well. Big up to you. Here to there says
تحيا
Arteta's
مصر.
11.
I
تحيا
want to say
مصر.
تحيا مصر. بلدي تحيا مصر.
طب ما انا حكيت تحيا مصر معك، لا تجي تسوي عنصريه عند
خلاص يا
سماعي.
عم، الناس اللي مش عارفه ان انا مصري دلوقتي عرفت ان انا مصري. انت زعلان ليه؟ تحيا مصر يا عم.
حبيبي Staffy TV, go subscribe. Arteta's 11 was a disgrace. If Gabriel goes to Saudi, I think Fabrizio came out and said today that he's not going to Saudi. So yeah, so you're safe.
Only
You're
Man
safe.
City can bench players, apparently.
Big up to Hypery Ultra who says Hamza that bragged about that 1-0 away win last year. Hamza just said the game's the game, man. The game's the game. Speaking of, Anthony says, Hamza, are you supporting Newcastle when Pep leaves?
No, my brother supports Newcastle. Can't have two Newcastle fans in my house.
Big up to you, Hamza. Hamza wrestles Egal for the Spice Rack Cup. I can't lie to you, Egal and Hamza today. 5-star performances from both of them. Big up to Hyper again, who says most people say Man City will win, so they're the favorites. Simple. Fair enough. Me personally, I've went on the terrace and I said I think Arsenal are going to win the league, so we will see. I'm not doing any mind games or anything. I genuinely believe it. Big up to Waves, who says, as a psychologist, I can see that Egal is indirectly telling us that his team can't handle pressure. He's crying for expectations to be lowered. And then he's asking you a question. Can you beat City at the Emirates?
We have to.
Can you?
I
Different
don't
question.
know if we can. We have to see. I can't predict the future.
You want to know something? It's only time will tell. Big up to Majis, who says Arsenal must 93% and bottled it and spends loads. Egal running away from expectations. They must. Listen, whether Egal runs away from it, Arteta runs away from it, Arsenal runs away from it. Personally, I think Arsenal are going to win the league, but expectations will always be there. That's the reality of football.
I embrace
Thanks
the
so much,
expectation.
100%. Thanks so much, Majis. Big up to Waves, who says Hussam almost fell asleep during the Arsenal game. I'm gonna be honest with you, the Arsenal game against Palace was boring as F as well. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Bro, the Arsenal game was boring as F. Like, I'll just be honest with you. The one team that's always entertaining.
Milan game on halfway through. I just got sick of it. I wanted to watch some Giroud ball.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's just, you know, the one team for me that I always find entertaining to watch, that's not Liverpool, because I hate them so much. And because they've been dramatic over the last 4 or 5 years, Man United. Because there's always corruption, or there's always a manager out thing, or there's always a Harry Maguire mistake. There has been Man United have given us entertainment. We can't even lie. Like, if from an entertainment perspective, first 2 games,
entertained.
They've been entertained. They've been entertaining still. Big up to the Chelsea Empire FC, says, big up Lewis. Egal held all this in for 20 years, says Chelsea Empire FC. Big up to you, my guy.
That joke is so dead, it hurts my heart, apparently.
Big up to you, Chelsea Empire. Anyway, gonna wrap it up here. We're gonna go around the lovely panel. They're gonna let you know where you can find them. Everyone slap up the like button, subscribe. Egal, let people know where they can find you, and if you have anything coming up, my brother.
Egal Talks Football. You guys already know what it is. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. And of course, EGTV Egal still on Twitter. So check me out. And yeah, I do have a video coming out, Premier League predictions on Thursday, and of course, preview on Friday.
I can't lie to you. You just didn't give the right answer.
Rent free in Chelsea fans' heads. No, but that's a given. That's a given.
That's always the correct answer.
There you are. Hamza, where can people find you, my bro? How is Hamza gone in the outro? Where can people find you?
It's probably
Yeah, you can find me. Listen, you can find me Man City Hardcore on Twitter, at Hamza Talk Ball on YouTube.
Okay, Hamza, big up to you, man. The link is in the description. Big up to Hamza, my brother. Always welcome here. Staffy, where can people find you?
Staffy TV. I appreciate the growth that I've had this week. Everyone who subbed, big up. 2 days ago I was here. I was on 250 subs. Today I'm on 350 subs. So keep subscribing, keep liking the videos. Inshallah, I think on Friday I'll be doing a match preview for the Forest game. So stay tuned to that. I just released the video today. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it after this. And big up for having me, Hussam. You can always find me here and Al Ahwa also on Sundays. I'm everywhere, bro. I'm everywhere. There's no hard ways finding me.
Yeah,
literally.
Like literally. I don't know. I probably do the white girl accent even better than you. Lewis, where can people find you, my brother?
Yeah, just Carefree Lewis G on all socials. We stream every afternoon. It's been at least 24 hours since the Here We Go, so we should be getting another one soon. We need our fix. So it's getting way too long. We need some more transfers. And yeah,
man.
See you guys soon. Big
Love Lewis, man. Make sure to go subscribe to all these guys' channels. The link is in the description. Who says I'll show some love? I also hit the like button. Good man. Everyone else hit the like button. Everyone else subscribe. Go subscribe to all these great guys on the panel right here, right now. Love to every single one of you guys, and we will see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Peace out.